I would make it this far, they hated, they never believe me. Yeah, I would never drop the ball, I know I make it look easy. Yeah, Mayweather with the defense. I don't care what a critic gotta say, I got them picking up the pieces. That to me, you really playing with your life, I'm about to come and run it all back. I'm the new era, about to snap back, you ain't fitting for it, cause you all cap like. Hold up, I shoot my shot, wait, hold up. I'm really about to run this go up. You know it's all net when it go up. Ain't got no other plans, you don't need to understand, ayy. We on overtime, you don't need to understand, ayy. You just show them how to do it when you don't know what to say. Tell me how you plan to win if you plan to play it safe. Moving fast, already gone, yeah, but you bringing me back. Try to double cross me, dog, just let me relax. Stop assuming what we doing, keep it moving, what we doing. Cause it can get big right, cause it can get please don't play no games with me, I promise I'm too much. Ay, I can never let up even if you had enough. Ay, this ain't for the faint of heart, we always playing rough. I had enough, it ain't luck. I needed a vision, I needed ambition, I needed a mission to beat in submission with no intermission. I see the collision, the crash in the distance, they coming off track, no. Now when they ask what's the motive, don't talk like the show. They all about to see what I mean in the moment. I gotta keep going, I'm shaking the dice and I'm keeping it rolling, they already know. Ain't got no other plans, you don't need to understand, ayy. We on overtime, you don't need to understand, ayy. You just show them how to do it when you don't know what to say. Tell me how you plan to win if you plan to play it safe. Moving fast, already gone, yeah, but you bringing me back. Try to double cross me, dog, just let me relax. Stop assuming what we doing, keep it moving, what we doing. Cause it can get big right, cause it can get big right, cause it can get big right.
Yeah. Salute. One more game. Yeah. Salute to everybody in the building. What's goody, man? What's goody with everybody in the building? Today's going to be a good day, man. We're going to talk some shit today for sure. So much going on in the space today as things are developing with this. The Devin Haney, Shakur Stevenson, this thing is playing out. We've been talking about this on different levels throughout different conversations about leverage, A side, B side, right? Who needs it? People with options versus people without options. And watching this develop in real time is such an interesting thing to watch. We're definitely going to talk about this today because Mike Coppinger comes out and makes an announcement yesterday. Very, very lightly, by the way. Shout out to Inside the Ring and Mike Coppinger just basically putting it out there that there's still, basically what I got from it is there's still super interest in Shakur Stevenson versus Devin Haney, but I'm going to connect some dots today. I'm gonna speculate. Shout out to my brother Showbiz, the adult. I saw he had the aluminum foil hat on today. I don't have an aluminum foil hat. I don't own one. I might need to get one, man. Showbiz, I might have to take that off you, bro. I might have to get my aluminum foil hat because I'll be on my conspiracy shit too. And you know something? In this content creation space, there's pressure on us as content creators to stick to the facts. And that's important, right? That's definitely important, guys. I'm not going to even, for sure, just the journalistic integrity of communicating and delivering perspective on what's going on in the boxing space. I believe that that journalistic integrity intertwines with the truth, and the truth is the most important thing no matter what. But there's always the gray area, guys, right? There is always the gray area. And as a content creator, being able to move inside that gray area, but still keep the integrity, keep it factual, keep it truthful. Sometimes we teeter the line a little bit. Sometimes we tote the line and we sit on that line a little bit because a lot of this is speculation at the end of the day, right, guys? I mean, I don't want to beat around the bush with you guys, right? Because I'm sure there'll be people who will take speculation and take moving on the edge and, swimming in that gray area just a little bit as an excuse to, knock down your name, knock down, your integrity, right? Knock down with your credibility. But it might have to just be that today, right? It might just have to run through the algorithm that Claymore Rain is speculating his black ass off today. It might have to be that today, guys, because sometimes all you got is what you got, right? But we got to speak to the elephant in the room. And the elephant in the room is Devin Haney. Devin Haney is the elephant in the room, ladies and gentlemen. He is the elephant in the room. We've been talking around it. We've been building on Devin without building on Devin, right? We've been saying we don't know what's going on with Devin. We don't want to speak on what we don't know, right? And that's fair. But Mike Coppinger yesterday opened up a can of some shit. And I don't think he realized he did it. I don't think the people who encouraged him to do that realized what they did. On the back end of Devin Haney supposedly on the verge of inking out some sort of deal with Zuffa Boxing, on the back end of the whole boxing space being put on alert to be ready for an announcement any day now, any week now, for an announcement of Devin Haney working something out with Zuffa Boxing. On the back end of Devin Haney's Rolly Romero negotiations going to shit. On the back end of the structure of that deal being exposed to the whole entire space. On the back end of Shakur Stevenson making his contingencies known to the space of what needs to be in place in order for a fight to happen between him and Devin Haney. On the back of a Brian Norman Jr. victory and him becoming number one in the welterweight division and getting a WBO title. On the back of silence from Turkey Al-Sheikh when it comes to the topic of Devin Haney. On the back end of all of that, to hear Mike Coppinger, who is closely affiliated with Zuffa Boxing, even though we see him working on Zuffa Boxing. But if we want to say, I don't know, I didn't see no documentation saying that Mike Coppinger works exclusively for Zuffa Boxing. So I'm not going to say, I'm going to say seemingly it looks like his affiliation with Zuffa Boxing, that he would put something out like that. On the back end of Devin Haney and Bill Haney not giving out offers, they're not the ones sending the offers. We got questions. I got questions. And we're going to have to talk about it today, guys. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for anybody who may feel how they may feel. Feelings may get into this today. There's going to be some of you guys pushing back on the whole show. Y'all gonna say, maybe y'all say I'm hating on Devin, or maybe you're saying I'm trying to save Devin, or maybe you're gonna say I'm glazing Shakur, or maybe you're gonna say I'm making. I don't know. I don't know if I care today though. I don't know that I care today. So excuse me if it just looks like I don't. It just really might be that, right? We got to talk about that. We're going to talk about it. We're going to dive deeper into that conversation. Richardson Hitchins does an interview yesterday as well. We'll talk about Richardson Hitchins a little bit. He did put some perspective as to what was behind him falling out of that Oscar Duarte fight. He actually was being pretty transparent, and I had to respect it, right? But we all talked about it here well before the fight for Richardson Hitchins. We knew what was on the line. We knew how difficult it was going to be for Richardson Hitchins to even be fighting at 140, period. We knew was a tall task for him, but compounding that with the rehydration clause, we understood what we were looking at. We know what we saw at the weigh-ins, and Richardson Hitchins ultimately, pretty much confirmed what we were looking at and what we thought and what we were talking about here on the platform. That being said, Richardson Hitchins did vacate that IBF title. He is moving up to 147 pounds on the back end, of course, of inking out a multiple fight deal with Zuffa Boxing. He speaks about what he's looking forward to do, confidence, activity, just a whole lot of stability, things like that he talked about, which was very interesting, right? And we believe it or not, we talked about all these different things on the show before. We'll talk about that a little bit. Also, Richardson Hitchins. Bam Rodriguez also did an interview, which was very interesting because watching Bam Rodriguez on his last performance, we had a pretty healthy debate here on this panel as far as trying to figure out what Bam Rodriguez would do next, how willing he'd be to get involved with a fight with Monster Inoue. And now I think it's significant because on the front end of fight week for Monster Inoue versus Junto Nakatani, questions are going to be arising is what does Monster Inoue do after this fight? Now, not to look past Junto Nakatani, but if you're thinking Monster Inoue is going to win it, I'm leaning towards Monster Inoue to win it. The question is, what does he do next? Does he hang out at 122? The big fight people are talking about as a possibility of Bam Rodriguez fight Monster Inoue. If that were to happen, there's an argument there to say that would have to happen next for Monster Inoue, as now conversations are floating in the space of Monster Inoue making a decision at the end of this fight to either stay at 122, defend his undisputed title for one more big signature fight, which people are saying maybe Bam Rodriguez, or moving up to 126 and potentially making a super fight with Rafael Espinosa or, whatever champion at 126. So that is becoming more relevant, more of a real conversation in a time where the traditional space of boxing is trying to make a big return, trying to put nothing on but the biggest fights. You got to think that Junto Nakatani is going to be looking to get into another big fight. Probably going to give some time, but we'll talk about it a little bit. Is Bam Rodriguez ready for this? Are they moving him a little too fast? Is this a little bit too much for him? A little bit. Is he taking a bigger bite than he can chew? He'll be moving up 2 weight classes to make that fight happen, unless in his next fight he just moves up 1 weight class and then he'll just be moving up 1 weight class to fight Monster Inoue. But that still would be a super fight. We'll talk about that. We're going to talk about Raymond Ford and O'Shaquie Foster today in an official capacity. We did address this a little bit on Fight Night, calling the fights. We talked about O'Shaquie Foster and Raymond Ford just a little bit. We'll talk about that today. 50-50 fight, 55-45, 60-40, 60, was it what's over 60-40, 65-35, 70-30? How do we see it? Why do we see it that way? What do we think about that? Xander Zayas also in the news, re-signs with Top Rank. Makes sense or doesn't make sense? He extends his deal with Top Rank, and he'll be there for the foreseeable future. We'll be talking about that as well. Shout out to everybody in the building. Let me take a moment to go ahead and shout out to the people who are in the building. Sam from Jersey in the building. What's good, Sam? First one in the building says, salute Queen Maureen. I'm here for all this boxing talk. Oh, we're going to get some boxing talking today. Marcus Warren in the building says, salute Clay. Salute to you, family. Motown 9909s 3 in the building says, salute to you, family. Flexing and stepping. What's good, says, yo, Clay. What up, though? Literary Pharaoh in the building. What's good, my guy, man? What's good, man? So good to see you in the building, man. Always good to have some real scholarship in the building. And my brother, Literary Pharaoh, man. Let me see here. Jefferson says, Clay Mo, what's good with you, family? Ray Davis is in the chat right now. I believe he's running around with his son right now doing some baseball stuff. But, so glad you tapped in, my brother. Salute to my brother, Ray Davis. Just Do Boxing in the building. Do yourself a favor and subscribe to Just Do. Man, your boy Shakur, man, looking like money out here, bro. He out here, he looking like money for somebody, bro. Shakur Stevenson looking like money for somebody. Shakur trying to figure it out. I think we're going to talk about it today and figure it out together, but Shakur trying to figure it out. He don't understand why his name is in all of this hoopla. Shakur at home going, what in the how did my name get involved in this gumbo, mumbo, jumbo nonsense? I ain't heard from nobody. How am I in negotiations with Devin Haney? None of my peoples is confirming this information. Where in the hell is this rumor coming from? Shakur looking like money, man. Somebody looking at Shakur like money, and they need Shakur up front and center. Like, yo, bro, I'm not saying we need your help, but I'm just saying. Shout out to Agent 777, Agent 0777 in the building says, salute, Clay. What's good with you, man? My God, Blaze, pound for pound in the building. Salute to you, family. Dex Joseph in the building says, Shakur is supposed to be the greatest. Walked into the ring by the boxing Avengers and etc. But y'all don't want to take his training wheels off. Whack. Oh, you sound big mad, Dex. First of all, we don't got no control over his training wheels or no wheels or telling him what to do. But I'll tell you what, man, it looked like Shakur was chilling in Houston, minding his own business, playing with his daughter, having dinner with his family. You know what I mean? Maybe he was running a couple of miles. He comes home, takes off his running shoes, kisses his wife on the forehead, kisses his daughter on the forehead and says, what's for dinner? And the wife, he like, have you looked at Twitter? Have you watched Inside the Ring? And he's like, no, my dear, I haven't. What in the world could you be speaking of? And here he comes to find out that he's in negotiations with Devin the Dream Haney. And he's like, I thought we already spoke on this. Darling, I thought we spoke on this. And I told them what my contingencies would be. I could have sworn I spoke to this and we had an ending to this. I thought Devin wasn't interested in it anymore. Why in the world would I be in negotiations with some I don't understand, darling? And I feel Shakur's pain, man. Here Dex is wondering why Shakur ain't doing what Dev want him to do. He wondering why Shakur ain't doing what we tell him to do. You know why he ain't doing what we tell him to do? Because he's shook, man. Why he not taking directions? We all keep telling him he need to go fight Devin. Devin telling him now that he need to come up to 147. What's wrong with Shakur? He don't know how to hear. His ears don't work. He don't know how to take instructions. Don't he know how to be where he's supposed to be when we tell him to be where he's supposed to be at? Why he always got to be somewhere else? I hear you, man. I wish he listened better to. He's a hard-headed two-time lineal champion. Hard-headed. Hard-headed ass two-time lineal champion, man. Let me see who else is in the building. Marcus Warren already said, what's up? Let me see here. Is anybody I'm missing? I don't think so. Assalamu alaikum to my brother Fly Frequency in the building. What's good with you, man? Let me see here. Sam from Jersey, Just Do, Blaze, Devo, 9846 says Devin versus Shakur is the fight boxing needs. Yeah, man. Somebody needs to make it. Shout out to Cornelius Burnett in the building. What's good with you? SOBTV. What's good with you? Salute to you, big fam. What's good with you, man? Let me see who else. If I'm missing any. Akeem Blake in the building. Peace to the gods on earth. Clay, salute to you, family. Let me see here. Salon Bobo in the building says salute, Clay. Salute to you, family. Welcome down Van Howden in the building. Clay and Angelo, hit that like button. Yeah. For sure, man. Let's see here. Virgil Wimberly, what's good with you, family? What's good? Mac Majestic, what's good with you, Mac Majestic? Alan Land 1 in the building. What's good with you, Alan Land 1? Fo Gutty, also known as Coach Hackett, Bernard Hackett in the building. Coach and trainer of Jaleel Hackett, Team Hackett in the building. What's good with you? Motown 9. I already shouted you out, huh? Right, Motown? Let me see here. Roger that in the building. What's good, man? Says Shakur look like he should be at 147. Shakur look like he should be in Texas playing with his daughter. That's what it looked. That's what he thought anyway. Poke Chop in the building. What's good? What's good, Poke Chop TV? JT8CB in the building says, I feel like my name was missed. Nah, not missed, man. It might have been missed a little earlier. I ain't gonna lie, but I caught you then, right? That's what counts. Yeah, guys, we got a lot to talk about, man. And look, this is all in the midst of fight week. This is crazy. We got a 24-hour Saturday coming up that's going to be insane from Friday night all the way until Sunday morning. You can say damn near Saturday, late night, Sunday morning. We got so much boxing going on. I don't know how to cover it. I know Showbiz over there, he's got a 24-hour marathon. He's about to kick off. That's what he's doing. He's doing a 20. Shout out to Showbiz, man. I've never done it that long before. I never had a 24-hour. I think the longest I've ever done was like maybe like 12 hours, 11 hours. So that'll be interesting for him to do that. I don't know if I could commit to doing the same thing, but we do got a lot of boxing to cover, man. Let me see here. Let me see. No problem in the building. Says Wazam Zoo. Great month of boxing starting this weekend. Yeah, they're calling me Zoo, man. That's my name, Zoo. Talker SD in the building. What's good with you, man? Yeah, we got a lot to talk about, man. 54 people in the building thus far. Hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel. I know y'all came in here for the sauce. Hold on, I got messages here on my phone. I got messages. We got so much to talk about, and there's going to be a little bit of there's going to be some conspiracy theories today, and we're going to talk about it all, man. My link don't work from the phone. Okay, I'll put the link down here for you, Ray. I'll throw the link down here for you, brother. Hold on a second. Is this it? Boom. It is for you. Nobody else hit this link. I mean, you can hit it, but it don't mean I'm going to let you up. You know what I'm saying? Five boxing fan in the building. Salute to you guys. 60 people in the building. Hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so yet. We about to hit that 3,700. That's on its way. It should happen today, man. It probably happened right now. Let me look. Are y'all subscribing to the channel and liking the channel? We're almost there. Yeah, we're a little closer, but we need to be a little bit more closer. Shout out to that guy, Angelo Reyes, Ray Davis in the building.
Yo. What's up? Oh man, I'm in a battle today. I gotta fight two of you, not one but two.
You gotta fight.
Hold on. Can I get started real quick, Clay? Salute to everybody. And you know when you put the title, Clay, weight classes, big moves, big risks, Haney, Shakur, right? Yeah. It was almost like sending a bat signal to Ray to come on and make
Yo, that's funny.
No matter what,
no.
This fool is driving, y'all. He is driving. And he's like, nah.
Hell no, bro. Listen, man. Bill don't pay me for no reason, bro. According to everybody, we get right. According to everybody, we get paid. So Turkey paying me, Bill paying me, somebody paying me. My job pays me. I don't know who the hell they talking about. It ain't Bill, ain't damn Turkey. But yeah, man, absolutely.
Bill looking at you with the side eye. He's like, "Where that man?"
Yeah, like, yo,
this man eviscerate my son's name. He about to, and where Ray Davis out to defend my son. Hey, listen, man. Devin don't need no defending, man. This is not about Devin.
No, he don't.
Wrong. This is about reality. This is about reading the ring. Shout out to the show, Reading the Ring. This is about the reality of boxing, of prize fighting more than anything. This is about the reality of prize fighting and what it takes when you're negotiating, trying to put big fights together, trying to get big paydays, trying to be a big star, trying to be part of the biggest fights. These are the growing pains that come with that conversation. You know what I mean? And first and foremost, I'm going to just put this out there. Mike Coppinger puts it out there and says, listen, these negotiations are still, pre-negotiations, right? Or pre-talk, whatever the word was used to describe it, said that was in the air right now. Again, and guys, we laid this to bed about a month ago, I would say, right? Between 2 weeks, a month ago, we laid this to bed. This fight ain't happening. Shakur wants the rehydration clause if it's gonna be at 147, or he wants to catch weight. It was easy. We gave both guys their way out. We said Devin has every right to move on from this. He has no obligation to fight and catch weight or use a rehydration clause. And obviously Shakur Stevenson, a brand new 140-pound lineal WBO champion who's only had one fight at 140, who's constantly told the space that he's a 135-pound fighter, that he actually wanted to campaign at 135 until Mauricio stripped him of his WBC title, right? He had all plans to go back down to 135 and leave for 140, right? So we said, hey, both guys are just on two different trajectories. It's not a fight that's meant to be. It is what it is. How are we here today, right now, where Mike Coppinger is talking about these negotiations is back out here? What did we miss? What did we miss? What did we not see? I thought we watched boxing. I thought we followed the sport closely. But we missed this one. I missed this one. Somebody let me know. Angelo looks like Angelo, would you?
Yeah. No. I just want to. So maybe it's a good idea, Clay, because I was doing it. Whenever you're talking, I'm putting myself on mute. Might be a good idea for Ray to do the same thing, because even the chat's saying it. They're like, put your driving ass on mute. When Clay's
I just
talking.
muted him. Yeah, I definitely just muted him.
Yeah, there you go.
I definitely just muted him.
Yeah, it just helps out with the audio. I know I tend to do it to make sure we're not overlapping with each other. So no, Clay. Honestly, you know what? I'm gonna let. What was it that you said earlier? People's feelings are gonna get hurt, and your black ass might just have to be speculating or whatever. So I'm just gonna let your black ass do that.
All right. Listen. I'm gonna put my aluminum foil hat on. I'm gonna tap into it. It is what it is, right? Ray's frozen. He's going through it right now. I'm just gonna pull him off. I think he's going through it. Yeah, he's frozen. Yeah, you're still freezing. You're locked up. You're not doing well. It's not a good look for you, Ray. Hit us in a minute when you still. Listen, man, I'm not gonna even hold you, right? When I heard the announcement, the first thing I thought of was, oh, so Devin's wanting to negotiate this. So, maybe it won't be 147, or maybe he will do the rehydration clause, or maybe this will be a catch weight, maybe not 144. I was thinking maybe he's going to try to convince Shakur to meet him at 145, 146. I don't know. I figured there's still interest over on that side for a fight that Shakur has shown doesn't matter to him if it goes one way or the other. Then I see Shakur respond and go, don't let the fucking hype fool you, bro. Nobody sent me no offer. Nobody hollering at me. Ain't no fight getting made. Nobody's talked to my people. I'm like, damn, So yesterday I put out a video yesterday I shot a video before I saw the tweet from Shakur, and then went out this morning. Shout out to everybody who watched the video and supported the video. Hit the thumbs up. Great engagement on the video. Thank you. It's still going up. I appreciate you guys. Thank you in advance for the guys who are going to watch it. Remember to hit that like button when you go in there. And I spoke to the reality of the situation that Devin Haney is in a situation to where he needs a dance partner. This is no secret. We talked about it multiple times here on this channel. On this platform, we talked about Devin Haney and pretty much none of the big fights looking to fight him, whether it's Ryan Garcia, whether it's Rolly Romero, right? The closest thing he's had to making a fight has been a fight with, in my opinion, I don't even count the Rolly Romero fight because I truly believe they used him to get out of the GSR fight. I believe that was all hype. I think they tried to get out of the GSR fight, and they used that. As soon as GSR made that fight with Jack Catterall, they were like, yo, 50-50, back-end money, $6 million, covering it, no upfront money. If you want it, you could take it. And Devin was like, what? Because there was a point in time, right, where Devin Haney was like, oh, they gave me the offer. The offer was great. It made sense. It was a great offer. All of a sudden, that changed. And I just can't help but believe they were trying to get out that GSR fight, that Shakur GSR fight. So that being said, Devin couldn't make a fight. Still hasn't been able to make a fight. What's going on with Devin? Shakur's the only person who I really heard a path to a fight. He's one person who received the request from the fan base and said, I'm gonna meet you guys halfway. I'm not gonna fight that man at 147. He's a bigger guy than me. I'm a 135-pound fighter. I'm willing to do the catch weight. Let's do a catch weight 144, or we can do 147 with the rehydration clause. Devin, from my understanding, said he wasn't interested in that. He's not doing rehydration clauses. It is what it is. To see it come full circle right now, I can't help but believe that it has something to do with Devin Haney's situation for whatever it's going to be. Because the next question I have in my mind is, who is offering Shakur this fight? Devin doesn't offer fights. He's not sending contracts out offering fights. If Turkey's involved in this, is that what's happening? Is Turkey involved with this? Has he put a contract together and allowed Devin Haney to and Devin Haney said, according to Ness yesterday on his show, said that Devin Haney's already signed his half of the contract. Really? Okay, so he signed the half of what contract? Because Shakur Stevenson is like, I haven't heard about shit about no contract. Who is offering the contract? If it's Turkey, how come Shakur wasn't put onto it? Turkey is very close with Shakur. Why wouldn't he let him know? Or there's another rumor that Devin Haney's supposed to be signing with Zuffa Boxing soon. Is Dana the one who's trying to put the contract out there? And on the back end of all these rumors about Devin Haney signing with Zuffa Boxing soon, which I don't think he's officially done in an official capacity just yet. Why hasn't he signed yet? Why isn't there a contract done yet? What's the contingencies to this contract? And I can't help but believe that Devin Haney, for a while now, guys, has been priced. People would argue overpriced. People would argue that he's somewhat of a money pit, that you spend a lot of money for him, but they haven't found a way to turn over big profits with Devin Haney, which is why I believe he hasn't headlined a card in a little while now. Matter of fact, the last headline Devin Haney had, if I'm jogging my memory correctly, would probably be the one he shared with Ryan Garcia when Ryan Garcia beat him. Outside of that, he's been co-headlining cards from the one in Manhattan to the one in Riyadh, headlined by David Benavidez and Anthony Yardy. And you got to believe that. And the one with David Benavidez and Anthony Yardy, people felt like he should have been the headliner because he was getting talked about more than the Anthony Yardy, David Benavidez fight. But they didn't do that. They put him on the undercard. We hear Turkey Al-Sheikh talking about what his plans are for this year, guys, and he does not mention Devin Haney. He mentions Shakur. He mentions Ryan Garcia and all the other friends and family, right? Conor Ben, right? Tyson Fury, Anthony Joshua, but he doesn't mention Devin Haney. Now, all of a sudden, he's getting ready to sign up with Zuffa, and here comes this mystery investor who's put a contract together that Devin Haney's looked over and signed it. And Shakur Stevenson hasn't been made abreast of it yet. What in the hell is going on? What in the world is going on in the world? And what does this announcement by Mike Coppinger, an affiliate, and I'm being very lighthearted about it because I'm almost comfortable enough to say an employee of Zuffa Boxing, making this announcement? That's all I got. Somebody help me out. Those are the pieces I got. Fill in the gaps and help me out here. Go ahead, Angelo. Put me on.
So since we're doing Speculation Tuesday,
that's what it is.
Allow me to retort, sir. First of all, Devin Haney will be signing to Zuffa. I don't think that's a secret. That's probably starting to be the worst kept secret around these parts. To your first point on who is making these offers, I think that Turkey is really the only one that wants this. When you and I have spoken about it before, we've said the leverage is beholden upon who is the person that's not asking for the fight. Right. And Shakur's not asking for the fight. He's cool, baby. He just won 140 ring. He got a Muay Thai fight happening. He got this happening. He's not asking for this fight. And that's why, again, all we can do is, since we're doing Speculation Tuesday, all we can do is believe what they're saying. And Shakur put out that tweet the first time somebody said it, and he was like, y'all doing this to me again? No. And then he does it again. A second time. He's like, here we go with this MFer. Talking about for the second time, guys. No. So since we're doing Speculation Tuesday, Clay, what I believe is Turkey is all excited. He's like, I got all this money coming in from Live Golf right now that I want to throw into boxing, right? So then he's like, come on, Shakur, baby. Nothing's going to be bigger than to make a Haney Zuffa debut in America on CBS if it's you. Come on, baby. What's it going to take? And Shakur probably was like, look, I'm not doing no negotiations. But if you're asking me what it's going to take, what it's going to take is what I've been saying this whole time. That Haney got to come down to 144. He did it for Ramirez. He can do it for me. Other than that, Turkey, I'm good, baby. You know, sign me up for Muay Thai. I'm ready to go to 135. Sign me up for whoever you got at 140. You love UK so much. Let me have Dalton Smith. Claymore, talk about Shockey Foster can get me. All right, then. Give me Shockey Foster. I don't care. You give me whoever you want to give me. I will put belt to ass. But if who you want to give me, Turkey, is Haney, my only stipulation is 144. Now, having said that, the Haney thing, I'm addressing your second. Well, what is going on with Haney? It's simple, Clay. Oscar De La Hoya playing games. Watch out for Clapback Thursday this Thursday. He's going to say some crazy stuff again. And he wants nothing to do with Garcia versus Conor Benn. Conor Benn, who was on ESPN, and Stephen A. Smith's already pumping him up. The lure to Devin Haney, if you want to call it a lure, is Devin, when you sign to Zuffa, we taking care of you. And one way or another, your face is going to be all around American, Paramount Plus, and CBS. But there is this scenario in where if Mauricio Suleiman doesn't allow this thing to go to purse bid, because if you notice, if you're reading the ring, Clay, Mauricio Suleiman just did this whole rule change that he implemented on the mandatory.
What was the rule? I didn't know. How does it work?
It's supposed to go to committee so that more people can get a chance. And I don't know. It's basically some bullshit to say. If I decide to not let Conor Benn, Ryan Garcia go to purse bid, I will have the shield of the committee telling me, oh, the committee voted this. This isn't Mauricio Suleiman doing this. It's the committee. So whatever. So in the scenario that, and you got to mute Ray again. In the scenario that Mauricio Suleiman says, I'm sorry, the committee is not allowing Garcia versus Conor Benn. Boom! Announcement made of Devin Haney versus Conor Benn. Big fight. Zuffa boxing belt. Blah, blah, blah. But Zuffa's coming for Haney. Haney's going to be with Zuffa. That's that. Again, since we're doing Speculation Tuesday, y'all, that's what Clay wanted it to be for this segment.
It is what it is, man. It's it's like I said, teetering in that gray area. People don't want us to be there, but sometimes that's where we got to be at. I hear you on that situation, right? And it seems inevitable at some point or another that these sanctioning bodies, whether it's Mauricio Suleiman, whether it's the president of the IBF, whether it's the WBO, WBA, however this ends up working out, it seems inevitable that it's coming together. And clearly Zuffa Boxing is with the sanctioning body smoke. They don't have no problem with their fighters representing the fighters who are aiming at becoming champions. Now, Conor Benn and Ryan Garcia is a lot of money. I have a hard time believing, but once again, I said this before, I would give Mauricio Suleiman all his flowers if he really stood on those kind of principles and said, it doesn't matter. Although Ryan Garcia is looking to get a big bag of money and Conor Benn's getting a big bag of money, and I would be looking to get close to about 3% of each one of their bags, which would mean I would get about 6% of all the money on the table, which would make the WBC a lot of money. I'll walk away from that and watch Ryan Garcia fight Rolly Romero, maybe, right? I don't know if that's what the game plan is going to be. But at the end of the day, the Devin Haney portion of this conversation, Mike Coppinger putting that out there, to me, shows intention. And the intention is Devin Haney needs a big dance partner. And I would argue that Conor Benn is not interested in fighting Devin Haney next, or even fighting Shakur Stevenson next. I would argue that he's looking to acclimate the 147. He's already talked about fighting at 147 and how he wants to make sure he can make that weight cut comfortably, because he said 150 was uncomfortable for him. Richardson Hitchins yesterday talked about acclimating to 147, and he talks about the activity and the confidence that he didn't have at 140, because he said, if you look at my record, you'll see that I haven't been as active as I want to be, which I had said right here on the platform that man needs activity, and he's not getting the activity he wants. And he went.
Oh no, Clay disappeared, guys. So he was talking about Richardson Hitchins, as you guys know. My personal opinion is that Hitchins is probably going to fight someone like a Kane Sandoval. There he is. He's back, guys. He's back. Go ahead,
I hit the button somehow and it took me out. But that being said,
I took over the show. That's what it was.
Oh, maybe that's what it was. Maybe you threw me off. But at the end of the day, it seems as if Devin Haney needs a dance partner, and Zuffa needs Devin Haney to have a dance partner, because to justify the amount of money they probably are getting ready to agree to shoot Devin Haney, they need to have big fights lined up for him, and his next fight in particular, right? Because I think the rest of the way through, it is about Conor Benn. It is about Hitchins. You know what I'm saying? It is about these fights. but clearly they're super interested in Shakur Stevenson fight. Shakur Stevenson finds himself to be in a great position, guys. He is in a super great position because he is sought after. I don't think Shakur's ever had this many fighters who are looking to fight him. Raymond Moritaya said he was interested in fighting him. O'Shaquie Foster is calling him out. And I'm pretty sure all of the champions at 140 will take the fight, especially if there's money involved in it, right? I'm sure Dalton Smith would take the fight. I think even Gary Antoine Russell, who's talked about what his big game plan is, he wouldn't walk away from an opportunity to fight Shakur Stevenson. And Shakur Stevenson's not even looking for a fight right now, as he's not looking to get back in the ring until like September or October. So Devin Haney is barking up this tree again, or the people that represent him are barking up this tree again. They're trying to find him a dance partner, and that's what I see, man. And in order for this fight to happen with Shakur Stevenson, he's going to have to concede to something. Whether it's the rehydration clause at 147, which me and Ray talked about this a little earlier, maybe that would make more sense for him. I don't know what would make more sense, like a 144, 145 catch weight and just rehydrate to whatever you rehydrate to, or is it better to do the 147 weight with the 10-pound rehydration clause? What do you think is the better, you know what I mean, fit for Devin? Anybody?
Are you asking Ray? As I think you're asking
real quick because of my signal and stuff. I mean, we talked about this earlier, Clay, and I literally said what looks to be is he's not going down. If he's going to concede to anything, he has to concede to the rehydration clause, to say the least, because he wants to be as healthy as possible. I believe if he goes down in weight, what we're going to end up having is we'll have Devin shrinking himself down to be Dranos, as Flyer Frequency would say, to try to make weight back and weaken him. What's his name? Shakur is on record of saying if he does come down and make the weight, that he can rehydrate to whatever he wants. He don't care. He's a better fighter. But we also want to look at the point that he also has made an interesting suggestion, in my view, is that he don't want the title. So going down in weight doesn't make any sense, because 140.1 to 147.000 is still considered welterweight. So it doesn't matter if it's a divisional fight or a catchweight fight. That belt's still on the line at any catchweight if Devin decides to do so, even if it's stipulation. If he loses that fight, they will strip him of the title. So it doesn't make too much sense for him to even try to attempt to go that route. His safest bet is to stay at 147 and take, and this is a speculation, as you said earlier, stated clearly. This is in takes to say that he's sorry about the noise. To say that he is going to be better taking the 147 pound with the rehydration clause, because then it's a legitimate championship fight. Shakur move up. They'll stay at 158, 159. I think Devin will be fine there. I think he'll be healthy and he'll be able to still show his power and maybe a little bit more elusive, to say the least. So, I mean, that seems to be the way to go, in my opinion.
Okay, so are we in agreement that fight is a fight that Devin should, by any means, try to make it happen? He should try to make that fight happen. Is that fair to say that he shouldn't walk away from this and say, I'm not interested in it, unless
no, I mean, he has his, as the champion and the guy coming in the division and another guy coming up, he has every right to decline the offer and tell Shakur, no, man, you want my belt. I don't care. I'm the bigger fighter. I'm the guy in the division. I'm the guy with the title. You have to meet my stipulations, and I'm not welcome to that. So if you're not going to come up and do what we need to do, then forget it. Like I think a lot of people, and we talk about this also, Clay, Devin has opportunities, obviously, but he wants a big fight, right? He wants the money fight. He doesn't want the fight that's going to just be a fight or just a tune-up or just another regular guy. And I don't mean to disrespect any other fighters. What I'm saying is guys not in the top 5. He wants somebody that's going to be significant and going to bring money to the arena. He doesn't want to fight just anybody. So he has his list of fighters. Shakur just happens to be one of them. And to me, he's probably the biggest name on the list, to say the least. This is a fight that's been brewing for years. So I'm okay with him conceding, but I'm also okay with, if depending on who's putting on the fight, Shakur can also take the money.
Cigar,
it doesn't have to necessarily be.
Shout out to my guy, Cigar Talk. Najee with Cigar Talk. Salute, man.
Yeah, but I'm saying that Shakur can also take the money. He don't need, you know what I mean? Money talks too. So if he's not willing to concede, Devin willing to concede, whoever's put up the fight can offer him a larger bag and say, look, man, we'll pay you for whatever pound he goes over a certain amount, whatever the case may be, to make it more lucrative. But that's not up for us. That's just speculation. These are things that happen. And I support both fighters, so I want to see the fight happen. I'm just on the end of, and it's not to you, Clay, trust me when I say this, it's just to the people that kicks Devin's back in. I hate it. I know that we all love Shakur. I know we all support Devin. But at the end of the day, that guy has to have, I just feel like he's getting 2022 Bud Crawford a lot right now, especially with the PBC deals and a lot of people just ducking the smoke.
All right. I just want to be clear about something, right? And obviously, you got to know I'm about to push back. Number one, I disagree. Devin does not have a lot of options. He just doesn't, right? And this ain't about kicking his back in. This is about the chickens coming home to roost. I've watched boxing. I've followed boxing for a long time. And in this particular era of boxing, we watched this Devin Haney conversation happen over and over and over again. It's nonstop with him, right? But shout out to Bill Haney, who always finds a way to put his son in position to get these paydays. And we celebrate that, right, for him. We want him to get his paydays. That's what's up. He has a hustling as a dad who always finds a way to put him in the crosshairs of some money, whether it's collecting money from Eddie Hearn and convincing Eddie Hearn that there's going to be this big, payoff towards the end. And then Eddie Hearn is disappointed now. Now he's going on record communicating. It's a money pit. We're spending money, a bunch of millions of dollars, and we're not seeing a return on it. Plus, Devin doesn't want to give anybody a 2 to 3 fight deal. He doesn't give anybody like a contract worthwhile to where they can maybe make some money on the back end, where I can maybe hit you with some money up front, and maybe I can get some little fights in the middle, get you something in the back end, and maybe I can make it a win completely, right? He never gives them that scenario. It's a one fight, one off. Ever since he became undisputed and he did that 3-fight deal with Top Rank, he's not committing to anybody. And once again, we celebrate Bill Haney. We celebrate Devin Haney for having that independent mindset and being able to execute and find ways to make money. Devin's made a lot of money in the sport. Then in comes Turkey Al-Sheikh, right? On the back end of him taking a defeat from Ryan Garcia that was plagued with the performance enhancement and drugs, he takes a year off because why? Devin puts out there, this is why he was suing Ryan Garcia. He says, they're blackballing me. They don't want to pay me what I'm worth anymore. Ryan Garcia has ruined my brand. Now I can't get the money. No, it seemed like the whole entire game was poised and patiently waiting in the background for a loss from Devin Haney to let him know the truth. We're not paying you that no more. You've been defeated. This is what you're worth. So he takes a hiatus out there. And in comes Turkey Al-Sheikh to save the day. Shout out to Turkey Al-Sheikh. He wants to see the biggest fights. He doesn't care about profits. He doesn't care about making money. He's paying the fighters he wants to see get in the ring. And he had an affection, an intimate, affection for the Haney brand. He wanted to see Devin Haney do great things and be in the biggest and greatest fights. He saw Devin Haney get frozen out of the game, out of big fights, because people kept saying there's no big money in it. And keep in mind, this was all around Gervonta Tank Davis and Devin Haney making a fight, right? That doesn't happen. He says, all right, you took this loss. We're going to make the Ryan Garcia part 2 happen. You're coming back off of a year hiatus. You're talking about going up to 147. All right, I'll give you a tune-up fight at 144. You'll fight Jose Ramirez. Ryan, you'll fight Rolly Romero. This is going to be great. We'll put Teofimo into the equation, and we'll make it like a tournament style type thing. All you guys got to do is win your fights. They do it. Shout out to Devin Haney. He runs around the ring for 12 rounds. It is what it is. He gets a win. More importantly, he does his job. Ryan, we saw what Ryan did. He shit the pot. He shit in the bed, and he did that performance with Rolly Romero. He messed up the whole equation. So now Turkey's sitting back like, what am I going to do? I can't make this super fight. It blows up in my face. Compound that with the fact that the New York event was a bust in general, just a trash-ass event, right? Now Devin gets an opportunity to fight against Brian Norman Jr. on an undercard again, this time of Anthony Yardy and David Benavidez. He beats Brian Norman in a dominant way. Like he shows dominance, but at the same time, he shows a little bit of that old Devin. He takes his foot off the gas. After he knocks him down, he takes like 1 or 2 rounds and kind of like puts some heat on Brian Norman. But after that, it was a big hug fest. It looked like a family reunion inside of the ring. It was a horrible performance. Since then, we have not heard Turki Al-Sheikh mention Devin Haney's name. We just haven't. If Turki Al-Sheikh has separated himself from Devin Haney, if he's saying, okay, I'm not really, for whatever reason, I don't see a plan for Devin Haney. Devin Haney's no longer the money because the rest of the boxing game already told us and told Devin Haney what they thought he was worth before he went on the hiatus. Before he went on the hiatus, he was about to fight on Black Prime. That was, everybody knew that. It was pretty much getting announced that he was getting ready to fight on Black Prime because Top Rank wasn't trying to give him no bread. His own promoter friend, whatever you want to call it, Eddie Hearn, didn't want to give him no money. Nobody wanted to give him no money. That's who he was going to be, and it seems as if it's come full circle, that he's back in that space again. Now, the only hope he has right now is Dana White and Zuffa Boxing pulling him in and offering him a whole lot of money, not expecting a lot of return as far as profits, but Devin Haney does bring the status, right? He validates the platform. If he fights on the platform, he validates it. His presence, him being a champion, number 1 in the WBO rankings, number 1 in the welterweight rankings, and a champion, a WBO champion, he does validate the space, so they'll overpay him again. Shout out to Bill Haney and Devin Haney. They're always in the right place at the right time. But it does seem like right now, part of that deal is the dance partner, is the mega fight, is the signature fight. The signature fight looks like it makes the deal to the point to where Mike Coppinger now is putting out a rumor, or whatever you want to call it, a feeler out there saying that there's this fight happening, there's this negotiation happening in the background that Shakur Stevenson promptly hits Twitter and debunks and says that is big time nonsense. Once again, Devin Haney trying to make a fight, and it seems like it's falling through again. What's the problem?
I disagree with that. We have no evidence that Turki is not rocking with Devin, especially when he says he's one of his favorite fighters. Again, I'm going to keep telling you and reiterating.
Wait.
Hold on.
No, you're putting words in my mouth.
Go ahead, because you're going to make me lose my track. Go ahead.
I want to be clear. I did not say Turki ain't messing with him. I said Turki hasn't mentioned.
I know what you said. I'm just putting it out, like you said, it's all speculation. So what I'm doing is, based on speculation and what you're talking about, I'm saying to everyone, there's no evidence that. That's not directly to you. This is just general statements and conversation. It's off. My bad. It's general conversation, right? So we have to really realize that the stuff that we are implementing on Devin Haney is just basically back talk. Devin is he's the new Bud, he's the new Floyd, he's the most hated person in the game right now. He gets talked about against everyone. Yes, his dad did this for him. There's no secrets that Bill didn't go out there and build his son's reputation with the love of hate. Devin took on the villain role when he was up on stage on that Manhattan fight and heard all this ruckus and said, I'll be a villain, no problem. So I'm okay with that. But the fact is that Devin does have backing when it comes to certain fighters. He doesn't have a lot of backing because a lot of promoters don't want to deal with him because they want him for multi-fight deals because he is a bag. And we're not looking at that. Regardless of what Eddie Hearn said, he tried to sign him to a 3-fight deal with Lewis Crocker. Eddie Hearn is just as bad as anybody else with the malarkey. We all know this. We all have seen this before. So for us to really assume that these guys are just going to be out here and be dishonest with us as fan base, we have to be honest with ourselves and say, look, it's not just Devin that's going through this. Eddie Hearn has been on record of saying some nonsense, and it's time. It's time for us to show what Devin really is. He's a star. He is a star in the making. We know he's a star for everyone, and because he's a star, we have to. I turned it off.
Right.
Do you have any proof? Go ahead.
Do you have any proof that Eddie Hearn tried to sign Devin Haney to a 3-fight deal?
Clay.
I have any proof?
Angelo, yes. Hold on. Angelo, I just want what proof do you have? I never heard. I heard of it, but I never seen it.
Eddie Hearn put out there. It was on Twitter that he doesn't want Devin doesn't want to sign a 3-fight deal. He wants him for a 3-fight deal. He said it. He was out there in the interview. Matter of fact, it's a lot of people that have even talked about it. Let's not forget that this has happened off the tails end of him trying to fight Lewis Crocker when he called for it. Him and Bill talked the next day. He said that he's not interested in Devin because Devin doesn't want a 3-fight deal. He wants a what's the name deal. So we can be clear on that. We can retouch that on that later. Also, we have to remember that the PBC shafted him like they.
I don't want to get past this point. I don't want to get past because it's important because you're saying a whole lot of stuff right now. And I'll be honest with you, a lot of it I don't think is backed up with any facts. I think you're just speculating, but I'm here to see the facts if you have them. The closest thing I've seen to Devin Haney and Eddie Hearn's deal, or Eddie Hearn talking to Devin Haney to do a deal, was him saying Devin Haney's too expensive. He can't get him a fight for that much money. I never heard about this 3-fight deal.
Eddie said it himself. Eddie was on record of Eddie Hearn said it. He was, dude, literally the day after. He said, Bill,
you're breaking up, bro.
Then the next. All right, let me move a little bit. Let me see if this works. Because I'm at a school.
You want to mute him for a second, Clay?
So I can mute him.
I'm in on this. Because it's starting to be an A-B conversation. So
my bad. I'm just letting him get off his chest.
No. And I know you want to say a lot about it. So
am I clear now or still broken up?
Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead, man.
No, what I was saying is on Fight Hype, it was recorded when he did his interview afterwards. He told them, or whoever he interviewed with, because we just found out that Fight Hype or Fight Hub, whatever one it is still in interviews and putting their tags on it. But regardless, it was on there. It was on the network. And Eddie Hearn said, he goes, "Yeah, we wanted to try to make the fight with Lewis Crocker. Devin's looking for a 1 or 2 fight deal. We want to make a 3-fight deal." Et cetera. I'm going to say it verbatim because I'm not sure. That was back in 3 months ago in January when this happened, or 5 months ago. So 4 months, excuse me. 3 months. I was right. April. Okay. So 4 months ago, to say the least. I'm telling you for a fact that Eddie Hearn did say that on the interview. If anybody in the chat understands that, they did hear it. The fact that we also have to understand, and I was going to move the needle a bit, the whole PBC deal, I do want to touch on that because I only got a short time, and I'll let you guys rebuttal. That was bullcrap. That was them keeping Rolly from fighting Giasoff. Because as soon as that fight got made with Catterall and Giasoff, all of a sudden all this offer money and all this contract stuff came to fruition. And Devin Haney had to push out there like, yo, they ain't really trying to make the fight. They're trying to make me push myself for a fight and put $6 million down before I even get a return. When Rolly then later that same day put out a video saying, well, the PBC's paying me. I'm eating crayons. I'm getting my guarantee, and he has to make money and split it with me. Okay, right?
We got to land the plane to a certain degree, not move off the point. Because I just want to go back. The point is Devin Haney options, Devin Haney moneymaker, Devin Haney superstar. That's all easy to say, right? That's an easy thing to say. We can say that. That's what's up. And I agree to a certain extent to the star power of Devin Haney. I think he's one of the faces of this era's boxing right now. But is he the moneymaker? I think there's a thin line between making money and not making money, depending on how much money you have to pay Devin Haney before you see a profit. So if there is a reasonable Devin Haney who's accepting something reasonable like 1.5, 2.5 million, maybe even $3 million, and you can give him a right dance partner that it makes sense. Maybe there is some money there, but if you got to pay him 5 to 10 million, is there money there? I think there's a thin line there real quick. Shout out to Gavin Goins in the building with the $5. Says Chef Rain cooking and Ray must be making the block over and over by the way the blinker's going off. The way the blinker's going. Shout out Gavin. Thank you for the super chat. I'm gonna send it over to Angelo because I know he wants to cook real quick. Let me send it over to him. Go ahead, Angelo.
No, I was just gonna say because I know Ray's got short time and I'm trying to give him as much of the stage as he can, and I know you two are going back and forth. In again, everyone, it's Speculation Tuesday. All right, Speculation Tuesday. I think that Clay just wanted to make sure that there are actual facts. It's something that, as you know, I'm a facts guy when it comes to co-hosting the show, and I'd have to really research and see when Eddie made an offer. Was it an exact offer? But having said that, to Ray's point about star power and all of that too, look, man, 2026, the market opened up and there's a market for what boxing wants. There's a market for what television group wants, for what Zuffa wants, for what the zone wants, and the market is the market. And I think right now Devin Haney is finding out that the market is speaking loud per se, right? Like it's speaking loudly. And this is not me saying, and how many times, Clay, do I have to always go on this show and tell everyone we're a supporter of Haney's? Hey, Bill, soon as you sign that Zuffa contract, baby, and you make that announcement, Angelo's your biggest fan. All right. But, in the meantime, the great thing about Zuffa, and this is the point I want to make with Ray, is doesn't matter if you're fighting in the Apex, bro. The money isn't dictated anymore on how many tickets you sell. It doesn't matter. It only matters that you fight who you're told to fight. And Haney's going to end up fighting a bunch of people. And if that happens to be a Shakur fight, because Shakur signed too, then that'll be that. To this whole thing where, I don't want Ray feeling like people are saying Haney's not deserving of being called a star. But Haney's a star, like, I don't know, man, like Klay Thompson, right? This is a good example, Clay. All right. The Golden State Warriors, you have Steph Curry. Okay. Right. Even Draymond Green is a bit of a, if we're talking like outside, like a star, right? Devin Haney, Klay Thompson, bro. Like everybody loves Klay Thompson. Klay Thompson, one of the greatest shooters we've seen at a certain period of time, right? The resume speaks for itself. But is Klay Thompson a superstar? He's a star, but he's one of the stars, not like the star. And I think sometimes Ray Davis might get caught up, and other Haney fans get caught up into thinking Devin Haney's like Floyd Mayweather. And honestly, man, he's nowhere close. But I'll let you keep going because you two are kind of cooking with each other.
I'm gonna add to that and just say it is very simple, right? It doesn't even matter what happened back in the day, to be honest with you, right? What matters is right now, Devin Haney has shown and proven that he can't get a dance partner for the money he is used to getting. There's some reality in that we can't keep looking past and making it about Devin Haney getting his back kicked in. That's not what this is about. This is about the business of boxing not being able to work with the business model of Devin Haney anymore, right? This is about like literally the business of boxing over and over and over again going, we can't do that for you no more. It's different today. We're all coming together now under the zone. I'm hearing rumors of the PBC coming over as well. The prices for these fights are going to be more realistic based on what we can make back. It's no longer just shooting you an obscene amount of money and then throwing it on our shoulders to advertise, market, sell enough tickets, sell enough pay-per-views for us to make our money, and the hell with us. No, it's the hell with you. We won't do it no more. And now Devin and his team have to make it make sense for these promoters, and he hasn't been able to successfully do that thus far. Now, as far as Zuffa Boxing is concerned, yes, they have a very big budget behind them. Somewhere estimated, give or take, $100 million a year, maybe a little less, maybe a little more. I don't know. Somewhere in that range, right? Like over 70 million a year, range-wise. Yes, they have money to spend, and they've proven that they're willing to spend it because they've given it to Conor Benn. So clearly they're willing to spend the money. And I would believe that if they are in conversations with Devin Haney to make a fight or have any kind of deal, that it is a very lucrative deal. But lucrative deals, contrary to popular belief or the consensus, come with contingencies. What are the contingencies is going to be what the question is. In other words, what does he need to be able to deliver on for that deal to make sense for Dana? Because Dana has a goal in mind. He has a vision. And as long as Devin fits in that vision and helps Dana get to that vision, everything is great. But if he doesn't, then Dana's a businessman. Then he will simply walk away from it. The announcement hasn't been made yet for whatever reason. Here you find Mike Coppinger putting out a feeler that fight is in negotiations. Why in the world would he do that? And who in the hell told him that? I know it's easy for people to just jump into the bag of Mike Coppinger's a liar, right? That's just easy to say, right? He's just lying. He's always lying. There's that. But then there's the other thing. You ever hear where there's smoke, there's fire? Well, there's possibly smoke there. At a minimum, whoever is vested in Devin Haney's future has shown some interest in making this fight happen. On the back end of Shakur Stevenson saying, these are the stipulations. Everybody's aware, bro. The whole world is aware of the stipulations of this fight. On the point where Ness has said Devin Haney signed his half of the contract already. What contract did he sign, and what does that contract say? Shakur Stevenson hasn't even seen the contract yet. If Shakur Stevenson walks away from this situation and doesn't make this fight happen, or stands strong behind his stipulations and Devin Haney decides not to take this fight because of the stipulations of Shakur Stevenson, will that agreement with Zuffa Boxing still move forward for Devin Haney?
Oh, that's a great point. Excellent point, actually, to be exact. And I don't think it does. I mean, listen, we all know he's high risk, low reward. The Floyd conversation was not saying that he is Floyd, or said the hate for Devin due to the attention he gets is almost like Floyd. But let's just put it to perspective is we all know he's a money fight, but just return on investment is really the issue. No. Well, I'm saying the return on investment becomes the issue because it depends on who his opponent is. That's the key. I think you've been making this statement for a long time. I think you've been making this point for a long time. But
I'm just saying, then he's not a money fight, right? Then he's not a money fight. If he's a money fight, means that he's going to make somebody some money. But if it's all depending on his dance partner, then he's not the money fight. He can be part of a money fight, but he's not a money fight. He's
that's
got some money to make some fights.
I'm gonna tell you why. I'll tell you why I say that, right? Because I believe that people just want to see him lose so bad. They don't want to see him in a fight with somebody that they feel that he's going to beat. They want to see him in a ring with somebody they feel that is more of a viable opponent that he can lose. So therefore, the money is invested in that portion of the fight. It's not invested in so much of him being of him just fighting anybody, because they believe he's just such a great fighter that when he does fight, he's not going to just go out there and just make money, because it's going to be worthless. Now, I get what your point is Tank can go fight anybody. He can make a bag, but he also has a big promotion company supporting him. Whereas Devin needs to Tank. I said, I get what you said earlier.
What big promotional company is supporting Tank? Bro, listen, right? So let's just be clear, right?
Let me just clear it up.
Hold on a second. Hold on. Devin Haney is a great fighter. Facts. Devin Haney is a big money fight. Where's the proof of that? Outside of what Turkey's given him, like outside of the fight he's made with Lomachenko, him getting, you know what I'm saying, him becoming undisputed, fighting against Kambosos and performing in front of a big crowd of people in Australia. He fought Regis Prograis at home. The word is
$8 million.
The word is that was not a successful fight. That was a successful fight for the Haneys. They walked away and made great money. But Eddie Hearn doesn't have the same story. That was not a win. Rumor has it, and when I looked it up earlier, rumor has it a little over 50,000 pay-per-views. That's what's out right now. I know there was rumors circulating before that it was this, it was that, but what's on right now, if you look it up right now, they're gonna say it was around 50,000 pay-per-views sold, give or take, right? They don't gotta be accurate, but let's just say less than 100,000 pay-per-views sold when he headlined the card. And then we gotta be real, right? Compound it with he's never headlined a card again since. Except for Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney, which is, if you want to make an argument, you can say it was really because of Ryan Garcia. Why? Because on the next card that they were on together, Ryan Garcia headlined it with Rolly Romero, not Devin Haney. He has not headlined a card still. So promoters are putting cards together and they can't throw him back on a headline. There's an argument there to say that there's a reason behind it. It's because he's not making them money. Because if he made them money, they'd put him as a headline. That's because it's business. So where's the evidence that Devin Haney has been a superstar making money for people. He is a star because Bill Haney is such a good promoter and marketer of having the best fighter in the world. But the promoters, the networks have not shown and proven that they're willing to throw an event behind Devin Haney since Eddie Hearn experimented with him with the Regis Prograis fight, unless you know something different.
Hey, I'm with it. I accept that.
All right. So that being said,
I'll accept that.
So that being said, when we say we all know he's a big money fight, do we? And is that what the whole issue is today? Is that what the confusion is today? Are we misappropriating accolades to Devin Haney that he hasn't earned? What Devin Haney has earned is he's a pound for pound fighter. Facts. What he has earned is that he was an undisputed fighter. Facts. What he's earned is that he's a 3-division champion. Facts. The money part has seemed to always be the thing with Devin that we have a hard time wrapping our mind around. Even on the idea that he's every fighter he ever fought against his big payday. That's cool. But are networks and promoters coming out profitable on the other side of financing, of backing Devin Haney on any big card without a Lomachenko or without a Ryan Garcia?
Again, what I'm stating, and I'm gonna reiterate this, maybe it'll be a little bit more clear this time. It's not that I believe promoters don't think Devin can sell. Obviously, like I said, the fan base wants to see him lose. They don't want to see him in fights that he just can win. Because to them,
the fan base
I know. Hold on. I know,
bro.
but because
what is that Eddie Hearn's business?
Hold on.
What is that Eddie Hearn's business or Bob Arum
Because
or
everything.
Dana White? What is that their business?
Hold on. Okay, your question to me. Let me answer the question.
People want to see Floyd Mayweather lose. It didn't stop him from being a
That's
payday.
my point. That's my point. But he also had
money.
Clay. Let me finish. Because he had the machine behind him. And this is what I was just saying about Gervonta Davis having a machine behind him. Devin doesn't have the machine because people don't believe he could just go out there and make a money with a flat. Hold on. And Turkey, who said Turkey's not beyond him anymore? No, we're only speculating that he's not. Right? We don't know what's going to happen.
With Rolly Romero for back end money and no upfront money and this weird contract. Why isn't Turkey stepping in and being like, boom?
Because there's probably the opponents that Turkey and him have involved and that he wanted to fight. None of them are available at the time. You know, Turkey's not rocking with Rolly, right? We know he was trying to get the Crocker fight, and Turkey was probably on board with that and then turned it down because Eddie Hearn doesn't want to put his fighter in there. There's many reasons. See, we're only looking at the Devin side of things. There's also another side to everything, bro.
You said many. Give me many. Give me 3.
Okay, like I said, there's a very strong possibility that Eddie Hearn decided to talk to Turkey and said we don't want him to fight. We already know that Ryan Garcia and should have had to fight with Turkey, but Oscar turned that fight down. Oscar avoided it, and then as soon as Oscar got control of the fight, hold on, time out. Let me finish. As soon as Oscar got control of the fight and figured that okay, there's no other option, and Zuffa's my enemy, I'm going to make this fight happen. And then Ryan turned the fight down. So there's multiple times of these things not coming to fruition due to the fact that there are always some obstacles in the way. Turkey's probably like, look, when there's a fight that I want to make and I want to see, I'll involve myself with the Haney fight. He was damn sure on point with trying to make that fight with Xander and he even went to top ring, right? He was on board with that one. So why all of a sudden is Turkey was on board with that Xander fight?
How you know Turkey was on board with the Xander fight? Who told you that?
Bill said it, bro. Bill was on champ side. He said it. Bill Haney said it on champ side. That, you know, they had the backing of Turkey with that Xander fight. But again, I'm just speculating. I'm just going out of the blue. I'm just going to throw facts out there that happened in the media circuit that's true or not. And I'm going to take the people for their words. Regardless if it's wrong or right, I'm going to take their words for it. Because they're the fighters, they're the people in the rooms, and I'm going to take Eddie Hearn's word for it.
So let's touch the Xander Zayas conversation, right? So Xander Zayas got offered a huge payday with Devin Haney for a legacy fight, and instead he didn't take it. He decided to try to make a fight with Josh Kelly or with Jerome Butenis.
Well, as we know, Xander also took the liberty of saying that he wanted to unify all the belts at the division. So if that's his goal at the time, and he's chased championships, he had that option. He said that he was entertaining the fight. He almost made that fight happen until the boots thing came across the table. So we have to also listen to Xander. So it almost happened. But like I said here, I'm about to go to this game, about to watch this game.
All right.
But go ahead and tap in on what I'm saying. Please do, because I'm all
I got
ears and we can talk later. All right.
All right. All right, brother. Oh,
All right.
Gosh darn it.
I was letting you guys do your thing. You know, I was, you look, when I came in to co-host today, as I do on Tuesdays, right, Clay? I was down for Speculation Tuesday. Because Speculation Tuesday could be anything. Devin Haney's fighting Shakur Stevenson in the moon. You know what I mean? But then you guys started turning into like factual stuff and, you know, well, when did Eddie Hearn say this?
Right, but Angelo, right? Like, there is speculation in between it, right? But we have to be honest, right? To say that at the end of the day, for me, it's as simple as this. If it's profitable to be in the business, investors who are into making profits will get into the business, right? It has nothing else to do with anything else, right? If it's profitable for me to sell Hyundai Elantras, and I don't like Hyundai Elantras. Let's say I'm a foreign guy, I like Benzes, Jags, and I like foreign cars. But Elantras are moving. If they're moving and I'm a money maker and I'm an investor, I'm going to have a lot full of Elantras before you know about it. I won't have one Elantra in my driveway. My kids won't be driving Elantras. I won't be gifting my friend Angelo an Elantra because I don't like Elantras. But Angelo might come pick me up for lunch one day and be like, damn, bro, you own an Elantra lot? Yeah, bro. It makes money. That's what I do. I make money. I'm like, all right, bro. Hey, man, if it works for you. I don't understand how people not liking Devin Haney, as far as from an investment standpoint, gets in the way of an investor. If Devin Haney's profitable, gets in the way of an investor investing in something that's going to make them money. The only thing that I feel drives that is there's no money in it. It's too much. And you got Eddie Hearn sitting there in an interview talking the Queen's English, right? Just talking the Queen's English, saying that motherfucker's too expensive, bro. I can understand why somebody else wants to overpay him because they need his likeness. They need his brand to bolster their own brand. But I can't find nothing worthwhile doing with him. Good luck to him. That's my friend. Yeah. I love him. He knows I'm here for him, but that's not what we do. We can't afford to do that no more. We don't need to do that anymore. He even stated we did it a little bit back in the day. I'm not going to lie to you. We did. Back in the day when I was trying to build up the brand, we did. You overpaid him a little bit. We really didn't care about making money because we was about making a statement and branding ourselves as the real deal, as a legitimate space. But we don't need him in that capacity anymore, so I don't know what to do with him. And I think the rest of the spaces co-sign that as far as PBC saying back-end money, no upfront money, sell, eat what you kill. That's what we're willing to do. Right. How does that have anything to do with people just not wanting to see him win?
Yeah, no. I mean, look, man, if we're bringing into a factual conversation, right? You want to bring Coach Angelo in for the facts, then yes, Clay, factually speaking, today, Eddie Hearn was on IFL TV. Pick any one of them, guys, and you'll see Eddie Hearn saying the very same thing Claymore just said. He invested in them because at the time they were trying to do DAZN in the USA. He lost money in that investment. He wouldn't mind doing an investment with Haney, but he needs to be a long-term investment because he needs a plan to see how he would get his money back on the back end, right? These are all just facts now. I'm not speculating. You guys can just turn on Eddie, and all I'm saying is Claymore saying what Eddie Hearn just said literally today, even on some of the interviews. Now, the Zuffa thing, Clay, because as you know, I like talking about that. With the Zuffa thing, Zuffa doesn't really need to make money off of you because Zuffa is trying to please Paramount Plus CBS, right? There's a whole plan for that. There's a certain market level price, kind of like when an NFL team is willing to offer a running back a certain amount of money because they believe that they can use that running back for their team. Right. Haney's a running back. They're like, we'd love to have you on. We got other running backs, though, so we can't go over this price. But we are willing to give you this price. But here's the caveat, Clay.
And caveat, because I know there's one. Damn
Yeah,
it.
here's the caveat, right? And this is maybe why you haven't heard the announcement. I'm going back to speculation on that part. I'm speculating that maybe this is the reason why you haven't heard the announcement of Haney signing to Zuffa. But as far as Haney going to Zuffa, he's going to Zuffa because you've made so many great points already today as to why he's going to Zuffa. Right. So, but maybe is because they're still trying to tinker with the opponent part. Because in Zuffa, you're ordered to fight people. You don't really choose to fight people. You're just ordered to fight them, right?
Now, can I ask you a question real quick? In the middle of this, my question to you is there a difference between, let's say Shakur signed with Zuffa, right?
Okay.
Shakur's not fighting who they tell him to fight. Shakur's a big enough star where he's going to fight who he wants to fight, right?
Okay.
Right? Is that fair to say that?
I mean, it's fair because, okay, so I'll paint you a scenario because we've talked about this on the show, and you know how I like to say something, and then I say back later on, hey, didn't I tell you guys that a few months ago? Right? And then I end up being right? So remember when I told you before they even announced a July 12th date, I told you that here in Vegas, it's International Fight Week. There's going to be a July 12th date. And I said, and that ain't going to be in the Apex. And I even said, in fact, what I'm hearing is they're trying to make that at the T-Mobile. And in fact, what I'm hearing is that there are certain big players and names that should they sign on the dotted line should end up at T-Mobile Arena July 12th, right? I'm not saying Haney was one of those names. I'm saying those are the type of names. So in a scenario like that, Claymore, in a scenario like that, is it possible for Haney to fight, let's say, a Regis Prograis? Sure. Why not? Right? But he wouldn't be like, it's the sum of its parts. It's kind of like the Netflix card. The Netflix card wasn't just about Conor Benn fighting Regis Prograis. It was Tyson Fury coming back. It was TKV versus Richard Riakporhe. It was Justice Hooney, the Australian market, against Frazier Clark, the bronze medal. You see what I mean? You see what I mean about how it's a whole team? So in that scenario, Conor Benn got paid to be the running back for that scenario. And that's what would happen when you say, well, what if Shakur came in? They would say, okay, Shakur, we have this long-term plan for you. Let's call it what Conor just signed. 5 fights, 2.5 years. Within those 5 fights, these are the fights that you said you wanted to make. So we're going to try to make it. But in lieu of these fights not happening, like how Conor Benn wants to do Ryan Garcia. Oh, I'm sorry, Conor. Fucking Suleiman, bro, and the WBC, they did you dirty. They did you dirty, Conor, because we were going to pay him 3% of $20 million, bro. And they said, nah, we're good. You can keep your money, Dana. Okay, cool. I'm going to keep my money so I can sign Devin Haney. Anyway, so then in the meantime, Conor, I'm sorry, bro. You want to fight Devin Haney? Because you know we're not going to, like, scrap you, win, lose, or draw. We just want a good fight. What do you think Conor Benn's going to say? He's going to sit there and say,
he's going to do his job. He's going to do his job and collect his money. He's going to collect his money.
Sure. And that's the benefit of Zuffa.
But for me, I have a hard time wrapping my mind around the idea that they're going to tell Devin Haney who he's fighting next, right? I'm not saying it's not going to happen. I'm just saying I have a hard time. When I see it, it'll be easier for me to believe it. I'll be like, damn, there it is. But for the most part, I feel like Devin Haney is there to serve a purpose. He's not there on the same game plan and schedule as, let's say, a Julian Rodriguez or you know what I'm saying? Or what's his name? Richardson Hitchins or an Edgar Berlanga. Like, he's not there. Even with Edgar Berlanga and Richardson Hitchins, there's a part of me that believes they're not getting told they're going to fight so much. But I would believe it way easier with them. But certain fighters at a certain level, I feel like it's about making the biggest fights. In fact, that's why I think the Shakur Stevenson thing came up the way it did. That's what they want to do with him. But if they can't do that, if they can't secure big fights for Devin Haney, is Devin Haney going to be part of the Zuffa Boxing League?
Yeah, but why? I mean, do you have a problem with Devin Haney doing, let's just say, what Jai Patai just did? Jai Patai got paid $3 million to fight the number 10 ranked Ring Magazine contender in Brandon Glanton at the Apex. So what would be the problem with Devin Haney fights the ranked number 10 guy at 147 pounds. And it's, Ring Magazine, and it's a T-Mobile. Like, he's just a part of a whole sum, because the main event of that is going to be Jai Pataya versus probably Ryan Rosicki, right?
Okay.
So you see what I mean? I'm just trying to show you the Netflix.
I feel like what we're getting ready to see, bro, is a humbling. I feel like we're about to see a public humbling. That's what I believe is happening. I think it's happening in real time. I think this whole year, outside of that Brian Norman fight, has been a very uphill battle for Devin Haney. The sport has changed. Turkey has taken his foot off of boxing to a certain degree, and he's allocated alliances now. He's very clear about what he's doing. He's way more mapped out with how he's moving. People want to say it's because, Saudi Arabia has a war. People want to say it's because they're running out of money. They can run with those narratives, but, I can go back 2 years and show you where Turkey said this was going to be a 2-year plan. Well, he said it straight up. 2-year plan, and we'll discuss what we're going to do after 2 years. And this happens to be the 2-year mark, and he's hasn't had a problem handing $15 million over to Conor Benn. So when he needs to, he got a little bit left in his pockets. He's just being more strategic, and he's no longer funding promotional companies' fights, right? He's no longer taking Oscar De La Hoya and giving him a night in Mexico in Riyadh season and overpay everybody on his card. He's not doing that with Eddie Hearn. He's not doing that with Frank Warren. He's not taking their fighters. He's taking the fighters he wants. I'll take Tyson Fury. I'll take Anthony Joshua. Thank you. The rest is yours. I'll take Conor Benn. That's me. I don't really care about anything else. Ryan Garcia, I like him. I will pay for his fight against Mario Barrios. There we go. That's what I do, and that's what I'm interested in. I will move strategically as I see fit to fit my agenda. Once again, we talked about it before. I have not seen where Devin Haney fits in the agenda yet. I haven't seen the movement with Devin Haney to put him in there. And the whole idea behind Devin Haney was he was the money. He was the money man. We had a
that was the narrative that was being told.
That's what I'm trying to say. That was the whole story. That was the thing about him. He was the money man. No matter how, if you thought he was boring, if you didn't really enjoy his style of boxing, if that was your thing, if you had complaints about him, well, at least he's a payday for any fighter, and that should attract the big fights. Clearly, the money hasn't been behind him to make the big fights, because I have a hard time wrapping my mind around the idea that people are walking away from their biggest paydays to fight Devin Haney. You know what I mean? Including Xander Zayas. I don't know how true that is, that Turkey was going to pay for that fight, or how that was going to end up being. Maybe that's what it was. Maybe Xander's just standing on morals and integrity, and just like, no matter how much money you give me. And we saw Boots do it, right? With Virgil. He didn't care about the money. He said, I'm just a man of my word. Lineal titles, unifications before anything else. Wait for me. I'll be with you in a minute. But there's a humbling coming, and I think there's a humbling happening in real time for Devin Haney. And if he ends up having to just do what he's been told to do with Zuffa Boxing, is that a fall from grace for Devin Haney in some form or capacity?
But you see what I'm saying, right? That narrative's got to go away for people. And by the way, shout out to Curtis Robinson. You want to read that, Clay?
Yeah, and shout out to Curtis Robinson. The $5 says for the Cook King and the content concept. Reyes, my guys. Yeah. The reason, the reason is because they've always pushed this independence thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's all. Mm-hmm. That's it. And now they wouldn't be independent. Now they would be company men. And how does that look?
Right. Well, here's the thing, right? How many times have you heard me and Clay on ATP Combat Media? We've even done a Read the Ring series for you guys months ago, just about how there's the sanctioning body space, and then there's a Zuffa space, and we're getting closer and closer. And maybe when you're done with today's show, go take a listen to what Lou DiBella had to say on Ariel Hawani's show today, because Lou's got no dog in this race. He's not even in the sport anymore. He's just here for opinions, right? And go listen to what he said.
What did he say? What did he say? I mean,
he basically said Dana's the better promoter out of everybody, because he actually has a structure and there's a direction that it's going to, right? Like what he's doing, don't like what he's doing. At the end of the day, it's the future. And to your point, when you were saying, Turkey from 2 years ago, bro, Turkey last August said, we're here. I'm signing with my brother Dana, and we are going to crush everyone. And then Dana was the one that was like, whoa, bro, we're not crushing nobody. We're just going to do our nice little 5-year plan. Nobody here to crush, right? And then that's when the whole Eddie thing started. Eddie then said this, and then Dana said that, and then back and forth, and we could go all the way back. So as far as Turkey, to your point, Clay, you're absolutely correct. In 2026, the commissioner of the league, the man who sets the salary caps, is spoken. And exactly to your point, I'll get a little bit of Shakur, I'll get a little bit of T.O., I'll get a little bit of Fury, I'll get a little Anthony Johnson. You know what? Usyk against a kickboxer sounds good to me. I'll do that, right? Like, you know.
Listen, it is what. First of all, shout out to everybody in the building. Like 90 people, 100 people. I don't know how many people in the building. Hit the like button because I know you guys ain't been hitting the like button. Support the grind, man. Do that right now. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, take a moment to go ahead and do that. I'm going to just land the plane there for now, just to continue to observe what we've observed and see what plays out, because I got a feeling that within the next week or two, there's going to be some huge developments in this conversation, and we'll save some more of the aluminum foil speculation talk for that time as more pieces start moving around. I want to see really what's going to happen between Shakur Stevenson and Devin Haney as far as because Shakur hasn't seen the offer yet, right? He's saying he hasn't received it or anything. So
I believe him, by the way. I believe him.
100%. Listen, I believe him 100%. But I'm interested in, I believe he will see the offer though. Do you feel me?
Okay.
I feel like the offer's coming and he's going to put eyes on it. He's going to be like, oh, so this is what these motherfuckers are talking about. I want to know what the offer is. I want to know.
You know what would be crazy? And I'll throw this out because, you know, I am a big Shakur fan. So let me just say this so that if he hears this, he knows that I'm on his side. With Shakur, listen, man, you're the 140 king right now. You're the Ring Magazine champ. There was also a guy that was like that by the name of Manny Pacquiao, and he didn't give a damn how much somebody else weighed above him. He didn't care. What he cared about was the money. So if the money's right, Shakur, please do not worry about that 144 clause, bro. Just don't. Do the Manny Pacquiao, bro, and just do your thing.
If they're offering him like north of what, like 20? If they offer him like 20, go get your money.
I was thinking, you know what I can't say no to money would be for Shakur Stevenson? 35 to 40 million. You can't say no.
Ooh. Hey, for potentially one of the biggest fights that could be made this era. Boom. Devin Haney, Shakur Stevenson, low key, that fight is money. That's an undeniable fight. That's a fight I think is more valuable to me and a lot of fans that I know than a Ryan Garcia, Devin Haney. I know that the casuals want to see the redemption. They think Devin's going to get knocked out, and I think that fight holds its own weight. It does. It's a good fight. But I think Shakur and Devin contests that fight. Maybe he doesn't go past it, but it's right there. And I can see that's a very technical, super hardcore boxing fans fantasy, and I think Turkey can get behind that. I think Turkey is going to jump behind that. And yeah, I agree with you, Shakur. If you get offered 30 plus million, bro, you better take that damn fight.
I'm just saying, bro. You know what I mean. Like, and I rock with both Haney and Shakur. I'm always defending him when somebody's wrongfully accusing him of something, right? But I'm just gonna say to Shakur, Pacquiao didn't care about the weight, bro. There was no weight, this or that. Just do the Pacquiao, bro. They offer you 35, 40 million. And in fact, let me even just say this.
Pacquiao was accused of doing some things also.
Hey, stop it. See, why are you doing that, bro?
I'm just being honest
with me. Why
I'm just being honest. There was rumors. I'm not saying
there's rumors about a lot of things.
You're right.
All right.
You're right.
There's rumors about a lot of things, but I never saw the man do it. I was there. I didn't see him do nothing other than protein shakes, Claymore. All right, and some Filipino food. I got a feeling, my dude.
I got a feeling you wouldn't see it. You know what I mean? But that being said, he was a puncher. Shout out to the punchers, man. He was doing the work. as he went, you know what I'm saying? He was punching the shit out of motherfuckers now. So Shakur is not a puncher like that. So, but no, I agree with you, man. That's the other part of the conversation is Shakur Stevenson. What would it take for Shakur Stevenson to concede and say, fine, let's fight as is, 147 pounds. I have a WBO title. Let me go for my 5th division, and give you guys the fights that you want and set my family for life. Or, you know, the generational wealth, change my whole shit up. Maybe that, like I said, I can't wait to see the reaction of Shakur because I truly believe in my heart he's going to see this offer because I believe there is an offer. I believe that what Ness was saying is accurate. Ness isn't going to lie. I don't believe him. When he says Devin Haney signed his side of the offer, I believe there's an offer that Devin Haney signed, and I also believe Shakur hasn't seen it yet. So let's wait to see how that ends up turning out. Shout out to everybody in the building. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Let's move. Can we move on? Or are we good?
Yeah. I just want to add one last thing. Then let's move on. That remember again, a reminder to everyone on the chat and everybody's going to listen on the replay gang that when Turkey makes the offer, there's the offer that he's giving Clay that has nothing to do with Angelo. He's going to offer it. So, hey, Devin, yeah, that's what he's going to like. Hey, Clay, are you happy with this offer? And then Clay's like, I'm signing. So the Shakur offer that Clay's talking about could be coming. Hey, Angelo, are you happy with this offer? Nah, not really. I mean, not if I got to go fight at 147. I'm not. I'll do it for 144. Oh, wait a minute. 40 million? I'm happy with this offer, right? and then he might so he might double whatever Haney's making is all I'm trying to say. Yeah. Whatever Haney just signed might be double for
100%. Because it might take that much to make it happen. Blaze, no, we don't listen. More than likely, the offer is being made by Zuffa. More than likely, that's where the offer has been done that he signed already, which is Turkey. And if the offer is north of, let's say, 10 million, more than likely it's coming directly out of the Saudi investment fund. The same way it did for Conor Ben. It's not coming out the Paramount deal money, especially if it's not going to be a Zuffa Paramount fight. If it's going to end up being a fight on Netflix or, you know what I'm saying? If it's going to end up going to one of those bigger platforms, that money's not coming out the Paramount deal. That Paramount deal is exclusively for Paramount business, Paramount fights. That's not where it's going to be coming from. So yeah, I would say a solid 70% at least minimum of my intuition says that offer is coming from Turkey. You know what I mean? And maybe even north of 70, like closer to over 80, that it's coming from Zuffa. You know what I mean? But where the money's coming from, well, not Turkey, maybe specifically out its pocket. We all know what Turkey represents, right? So not Turkey Ring Magazine, Turkey Riyadh season, Turkey, just ambassador of sports entertainment, Turkey. That works. From the Saudi fund. You know what I mean? That's where I would put it at. Anyway, that being said, Richardson Hitchins does an interview. Did you get an opportunity to see Inside the Ring yesterday?
I did not get a chance to see it, but I'm sure he talked about why he was moving up to 147 for Zuffa, right? So
he kept it
give me the short form of basically what he said. Because this guy's about to fight a Julian Rodriguez of some sort. But go ahead.
I don't know, man. I don't know, right? All I know is this. Richardson Hitchins. And shout out, man, fuck it. Shout out to me. Okay. I don't normally do this, but I've been telling you guys for so long, so many things that I've been telling you guys. It is what it is. You guys know it. If you've been watching the show, you know what you know. You've seen what you're seeing. You know what I've been saying. And when it comes to the topic of Richardson Hitchins, I've told you guys from the beginning, leverage the IBF title. Staying in the division too long, rehydration clause, diabolical for him. Doesn't have long to last in the division. If he can't knock down a unification, he's cooked. Arroz con pollo. Okay? Chicken and rice. And that's what Hitchins admitted. He said it. I had a hard time making the weight. He said just making the 140 pounds was diabolical. He mentions that that Keith Connolly called him about a week and a half to 2 weeks before the fight and asked him how much he weighed. He said, Keith, I'm walking around right now north of 170 pounds. He said, what? He's like, yeah, man, I'm trying to shake the weight. He wasn't saying I'm just eating bad and I'm being irresponsible. He's like, yeah, I'm trying to cut this weight. I'm still north of 170. He said, what in the hell are we doing down here at 140? Richardson Hitchins said he was thinking about calling out from the fight a week and a half before the fight. He said a week and a half before the fight, I was already thinking like, I don't think I should do this. But he didn't want to give up the opportunity. He already missed out on the big money and being on a big card with the Teofimo Lopez Shakur Stevenson card. He acknowledges it, right? And he didn't want to miss out on this next big card that was going to be in Vegas to co-headline with Mario Barrios and Ryan Garcia. So he played it to the end. He made the weight, but the night before, he barely could. It was like it wasn't even reasonable for him to get inside the ring with a puncher like Oscar Duarte. It just didn't make no sense. You know what I'm saying? So the next day, he had to make that decision. He apologized and felt sorry for Oscar Duarte. Like, yo, man, I know he was preparing, but that just didn't make sense for me to do. And I have to agree with Richardson Hitchins. That being said, I think the most important part of what I heard him talking about was the fact that the lack of activity. And this is what the traditional space does to fighters like Richardson Hitchins, right? Richardson Hitchins gets his biggest payday taking that title off of Leon Paro, right? He takes that title off of him. Then he makes another payday with George Kambosos. He doesn't want to go backwards. He's a prize fighter. He's trying to get as much money as he can, but he knows the reality is after that George Kambosos fight, it was time for him to go. It was really time for him to go after the Lemos fight. Okay, let's be honest. After that Lemos fight, when he got punched around in that ring and barely
here
won,
in Vegas.
Yeah, and people thought he lost that fight. He knew that night that 140 should be this. We need to have a conversation. What he thought he could do was, okay, let me pull myself out of this rehydration clause situation, which is why he walked away from the Subriel Matias fight, right? He said, I'm not really interested in doing that. When Liam beat Subriel, he was like, man, even if I'm dehydrated and weak, I could beat him. I ain't going to even lie to you. Let me go back into the pool, pick up the IBF title, half drunk and weak, right? Go beat up this dude, take this title. And then what am I going to do? I'm going to push for unification. If you remember, him and Teofimo had that fake little face-off in the ring. He's trying to do unifications or keep it moving. Eddie can't land the unifications for him. Nobody's interested in making it. Teofimo is on strike. He ain't unifying with nobody. He wants to fight Boots at the time. He wants to fight Terrence Crawford, right? He's talking stupid shit, right? And he's calling black people out their names, and he's trying to make big-ass fights, and he's trying to get out of his deal with Top Rank. He's a pain in the ass. He's not available to talk any reasonable business with. Gary Antoine Russell at the time, if he didn't do it yet, he was getting ready to fight for a title, I think, against Rayo Venezuela, because he had lost to Alberto Puyo. I just can't remember how close in proximity the time was. He couldn't land one. So Eddie said, the best thing I could do for you is let me bring up George Kambosos from 135. He's got a big name, a big following in Australia, right? And we're going to get you another big payday north of $1.5 million. We're going to get you back. So now he's getting money he's never gotten before, and it's keeping him in the division with the hopes of potentially making a unification. He doesn't want to defend the title anymore. Then he tried to leverage the title and be like, look, Devin, I'll fight you 147. Let's get it done. I'll come up there and fight you. For some reason, that there was no money coming up behind that. Now it's either Keyshawn Davis at 140, which is horrible for him because it's another puncher, or what he ended up falling into, which was Oscar Duarte. That being said, he said activity was an issue for him. He had a hard time making fights, and he feels like he lost out on his development. That's what he was basically saying. He felt like he lost out on the ability to develop. Yeah, he's looking forward to the activity over at Zuffa. He's looking forward for the opportunity to develop. Do you believe, as much pushback as we've given Richardson Hitchins, and we've held him very accountable? Like, bro, you've been ducking a lot of smoke.
I'll co-sign with that.
You've been doing that. You were there too. Stop it. Just because he's a Zuffa fighter doesn't mean we can't go back in the day. He was kind of mean.
Stop it, man. He's a part of the roster, Clay.
I'm just saying before we was being kind of mean to him.
We were.
Mean, right?
All right.
Can we acknowledge that? Is that a legitimate excuse as to why he did perform the way he did? And look, he destroyed Kambosos. He's a great boxer. Are we expecting a huge elevation for Richardson Hitchins and Zuffa? Will he develop to be one of the best welterweights in the world with the activity Zuffa is going to offer him?
The thing is, there's so much talent, right? Especially right now in boxing. there's so much talent of people between 25 and 30, even the younger ones, like a Xander Zayas, right? Is talented. Big Sarge, you're crazy. But there's like even Xander Zayas, right? What is he? 20? Did he just turn 24, or is he still 23? I think, right?
He's 23 years old.
Okay, so he's fighting Boots. So my point is, there's so many talented fighters between the ages of 20 and 30 right now that to say that Richardson Hitchins could become the best or one of the best welterweights, I mean, we don't know what we don't know. We will see, I guess, right? But now he's no longer in the sanctioning body space. And in the sanctioning body space, everybody plays too many games, bro. Too many games are played, and fighters like Richardson Hitchins is not allowed to grow because the growth is based upon the investment. Unlike in Zuffa Boxing, your growth is based upon when you're ready to fight. As an example, this past 48 hours, if you guys are paying attention to Zuffa Boxing, the Zuffa Boxing campaign has been, hey, let's show you the pictures of all the fighters that have already fought multiple times for Zuffa Boxing in the span of 5 shows. And they've shown pictures of Demazian Vanhouder and Julian Rodriguez, Emiliano Cardenas. And the whole point is, if you're with us, look, man, we're only going into our 6th show. And look, some of these fools is going into their 3rd fight already.
Facts.
Richardson Hitchins hasn't fought since last year. So you know what, Hitchins? When we call you up and we say, hey, bro, we tried to call so-and-so to fight you, and so-and-so to fight you, and so-and-so to fight you, and none of those people want to fight you. But this guy does. You want to take the pay or not? Yes, I do. Great. Richardson Hitchins versus Vlad Panin. You know what I mean?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Which I think is a great fight, by the way.
Yeah, sure.
I think that's a great fight. Stylistically, no joke. I think Vlad Panin is a great stylistic fight for Richardson Hitchins.
And can I say one more thing? Because I already see a lot of Hitchins stuff on the chat. Okay, I just want to put this out there to perspective, so don't attack me. You're gonna say, man, Angelo, you backing Hitchins because he's signed with Zuffa. Don't do it. I'm just gonna throw out a fact.
You know you about
fact that Hitchins, to what Claymore explained to us, and I didn't see the interview yet, so I'll watch it. Said I wanted to be on that fight because it was a big event, so I went there and I killed myself to make the weight. You know who didn't kill himself to make the weight and took almost a year off? Keyshawn Davis. So before you guys go making fun of Hitchins, I always say, if you're going to back up Keyshawn, then you got to back up Hitchins too. Because Hitchins did make the weight, Clay. Whether he fought or not is the same result that happened to Keyshawn Davis. Keyshawn Davis didn't fight either, but he didn't even make the weight, Clay. He didn't even try, bro. So, but anyways, that's all I'll say so that you guys leave my Zuffa fighter alone.
it is what it is. I think, listen, if Ray Davis was up here, he'd tell you that I used to be big on Richardson Hitchins. I used to say, listen, that dude is like a level or 2 below Devin Haney. He's not far from that crew. And I always said that would be a great fight to see Richardson Hitchins fight Devin Haney. I believe stylistically that's a Timu Devin Haney versus Shakur fight. You know what I'm saying? That's a real, he's not there, but he's there enough to really be a great dance partner. But he has built up a little animosity from the space because the big fights that were looking for him, the Gary Antoine Russells, right? Those fights specifically that people were looking for the unifications, he always walked away from those fights and tried to downplay those fights as they weren't big fights. They were dismissing the value of the fights. And Gary didn't do enough. He has a title, bro. And what have you done so much that you're worth anything more than that? As far as unification fighters, you're not in a Devin Haney conversation while a Teofimo's there, while a Ryan Garcia is there, while a Shakur is there. You're not part of that conversation while Jerron Boots Ennis is there. Nobody wants to see you fight Devin Haney more than any of these other fights. So I also kept it real and always said that Hitchins should never have stayed at 140 as long as he was there. He really just shouldn't have. And as much as we want to say we don't want to make excuses for these fighters, the weight cut is a part of the fight game that we cannot look past, right? We cannot look past weight cuts and say that's not our business. To a degree, it isn't our business. To a degree, it isn't our business. But to a large degree, This is the excuses and the reasons thing, right? Shout out to Showbiz. No excuses, but legitimate reasons. Excuses we don't take. You chose to get inside the ring. You chose to cut that weight and be in that division. That's your business. Reasons being that, do I believe that Richardson Hitchins was fighting at his full capacity? Was he optimized? Was he the best athlete he could be at 140? I don't think he was. And I'll use Raymond Ford, and we'll probably segue into that shortly. I'll use Raymond Ford as an example, right? Raymond Ford was at 126, looking like a shell of himself. Goes to 130, fights Orlando Gonzalez, and puts a beating on that boy and shows the whole world that he's announced himself at 130 pounds, to the point to where now a lot of people are saying this is 50-50. I've had certain people like Mozzie Van Houter, who was on the show Saturday, saying he's picking Raymond Ford to win that fight. Nobody would have picked that 126-pound fighter, Raymond Ford, to fight no damn old Shaky Foster. They couldn't even see it happening. But once he got the 130, he gained the weight properly. He was stronger. We saw something different. I'm thinking there's a possibility we're going to see that with Richardson Hitchins at 147. I think he's going to acclimate a little bit, but I think him being comfortable, combine that with the nutrition, the Apex Center, all those perks that he's going to come in with, he's got the skills, man. Foundationally, he's a great boxer. No? Would you disagree with that?
No. Hey, man, I'm a Richardson Hitchins guy, so I don't know what you guys are talking about here. All right, okay. In fact, if you guys want to, the Zuffa, I just sent it to you, Clay. The Zuffa promo literally dropped while you were doing your soliloquy right there for Richardson Hitchins's, who I'm assuming, I'm going to throw it out now. He's Richardson Hitchins' fight date will either be June 28th, main event at the Chelsea at the Cosmopolitan, or he'll be a part of the July 12th International Fight Week. But you will see Richardson Hitchins coming soon to Zuffa Boxing. They just dropped the promo on him. So anyway, yeah, I sent it to your Instagram. It was on Instagram, but I'm sure Zuffa Boxing has it under YouTube already too, Clay. But yeah, no, and then it was a great conversation. There it is. Go ahead, Clay. I don't know if we'll get busted.
No, we ain't gonna get busted. Zuffa ain't gonna care about this. Hold on, I'm trying to make it big. God, man, pause. I'm trying to make the screen big. Hold on.
I think it's, there you go. There it is. Right there. Click that right, lower right.
My cousin Jolie.
Oh, he talking Creole. Oh, he said, I'm gonna break his jaw.
Yeah,
he said, my cousin Jolie. Uh-oh.
You a fan now, huh?
Richardson Hitchins is an excellent, world-class, undefeated fighter.
It's a kill or be killed sport. And I'd rather it be them, not me. Feel me?
He has developed into a complete pro.
Boxing
Look at
needs
that.
a talent like me.
Look at that.
So much skill, personality, attitude.
He can do it at the highest level. And he has a shot at greatness.
Shot at
And it's to be the
greatness,
best.
Clay.
Edgar Berlanga, one thing we know this dude can do, he can knock you out.
I love putting people to sleep. Feels good.
But he can remind people of that guy.
The knockout power, the flashiness.
Look at
And
that.
you got Puerto Rico behind you.
Sky's the limit.
You tune in to watch Berlanga fight because you know the power is in there.
I got a lot of doubters. I got a chip on my shoulder.
He's got to prove to people.
I'm looking to make history.
And that's what's at stake for Berlanga.
King of New York is back, baby. Let's get it.
The King of New York, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
this
told
is-
you, man.
I've been waiting.
Shout out
I've
to
been
my
waiting on
super
this.
guys. Shout out to my
I've been waiting on Hitchins to embrace the Haitian, that Zopound blood that he got in him. He hasn't really embraced it as much as I thought he should embrace it. And he looks
He's
like
doing
he's
it now, though, baby. He's doing it now. So, International Fight Week, here we come. The Haitian community is coming out for International Fight Week, Clay.
I'm looking forward to see this second chapter in Richardson Hitchins' career. I want to see what he does, man. I don't know. I've been very critical of Richardson Hitchins at 140 towards the end. I have been, man. And but it's not because I believed he was a hype job and he wasn't able to. I just felt like he wasn't willing to, and that annoyed the crap out of me. You know what I'm saying? Like it really annoyed. And I knew he wasn't able to, at 140. So I was
How
more so.
about this for you, Clay? Since I see in your eyes, your Haitian blood is all pumped that he said it in.
Yo, I
don't know what to call the language. Is it Creole? Is it
Creole? Creole. That means
okay.
my Kaze Jolu. Yeah. Let's get it, man.
So, would you be upset if they announce International Fight Week, T-Mobile Arena, Jai Apataya versus Rozicki, Hitchins versus Conor Benn? Would you be mad?
Nah, I think Hitchins beats the shit out of Conor Benn.
Well, there you go. See?
Especially at 147.
Lot of options for Hitchins, baby. A lot of options for Hitchins.
Yeah. Let's see what he does. Let's see what he does. He's embracing the activity. He's embracing being strong. He's embracing the nutrition. He talks about. He says he could fight every 4 months, every 3 to 4 months. He says easily they can map out his fights very easily, and he's just embracing that. And I could tell when he was talking that he was embracing the idea of, I know I'm good, but his confidence. He talked about it's hard to be confident when you're not active. You just don't know who you're, especially when you're growing the way he was, right? So you just don't know who you're going to be on fight night. There is a version of Devin Haney that was inside of the gym that was destroying everybody. And people, there was urban legend about him beating up middleweights and junior middleweights when he was a 135 pounder, when he was a 140 pounder, about him being so strong and deceptively powerful. Zab Judah used to boast on his godson and say that Devin Haney was checking all these boxes, but whenever he got there on fight night, he was a depleted fighter. He was a fighter who had a weak chin because of the liquid around his brain, right? And he fought scared. He fought with his hands in his pockets. He fought defensively minded first. When he got in the ring with Brian Norman Jr., for a moment there was a glimpse of the Devin Haney that Zab Judah was talking about. We saw it when he put Brian Norman down. We saw the possibilities, but I think his mind got the best of him again. By the third or fourth round, he pretty much started coasting back onto that old school shit. And I brought up Raymond Ford, and even Terrence Crawford went up to 168 and showed, yeah, this is what it looks like when I ain't cutting the weight. I'm a problem. You know what I'm saying? I'm a problem. A lot of people thought he could have stopped Canelo in that fight, and that he didn't. So I'm interested in seeing if that's going to be the same thing for Richardson Hitchins. The foundation is there. Let's see what happens. So
Blaze said, would you be cool with Devin versus Hitchins?
Yeah, 100%. I just don't see that fight happening next, though. I think Hitchins is going to want to acclimate. I think he's going to want to take a fight, maybe even 2 fights at 147. I think he's going to get on the boxing league. I think he's going to get on the program. He's going to get active. He's going to fight who he needs to fight. He's not looking, unless they offer him a big bag of money, he'll do it, right? But I don't think that's what he's looking to do. That
so as you hold on, let me ask you one last question. No. As you know, we get the Zuffa fighters in here. If I get Hitchins to come on the show, my only question to you now would be, would you do the interview in Creole?
Oh, man, I don't think he can hang with me if I did that. I don't think he talked Creole at that level. I think he's a very Americanized Haitian, you know what I'm saying? But when I could do it in Creole, no problem, yeah, no problem. I think he'd look at me like, Clay, yeah, let's go back to English, man. But, you know what I mean? So like I said, salute to all my Zoes. That's what he said, salute to all my Zoes. I appreciate you, but don't put me on the spot like that, bro. We ain't doing a whole interview in Creole, bro. That's not what I do. I'm from Brooklyn first, then Haiti. That's what he's gonna say. So listen, we talked about this. The night Nakatani fought against what's my guy's name again that he fought?
Sebastian Hernandez.
No. I'm sorry, Monster Inoue. Sorry, Monster Inoue.
Oh, the Monster Inoue fought Alan Picasso.
Picasso, right. Okay. We talked about Bam Rodriguez. We spoke about it.
Yes.
We said, and we had a deep conversation about what made sense for Bam, the likeliness of him fighting Monster Inoue. I think you put on like a year and a half, 2 year type of thing on it. Like, yo, nah, Bam needs to develop himself, fight this guy, unify, go up to the next weight class, put in some work, and then fight Monster Inoue. My argument to you that night was Monster Inoue does not stay at 122 for 2 years.
Amen, brother. I agreed 100%.
No,
Amen.
You didn't. No, you didn't.
Well, I said 22 is where the fight needed to happen, though, is what I said.
Right. But you felt like it was going to miss it. You feel like the timeline just wasn't going to work.
I do. I do. Yes.
Yeah, you still do. Okay. So
I still do, except for the Shakur thing. Since Turkey's willing to give $30-40 million to Shakur, you know, I'm just saying he might do that with Bam too. Bam is fighting Antonio Vargas in Arizona. He's doing it at 118, right? We're about to see this huge Nakatani versus Inoue fight.
Was good.
Hey, Coach. We're about to see this huge Nakatani versus Inoue fight happening this Saturday, really Friday night for me, Clay, but early Saturday morning for you. It's like 4 a.m. for you. So let's say Inoue wins. Let's just say Inoue wins.
Right.
I can see Turkey going, hey, Bam, so I was just on the phone with Shakur, and he accepted this deal. And Shakur moving up to 147. So if you win against Vargas, I'm going to give you this much money to fight
I don't
122
think Bam is the one who needs that phone call. I think Inoue is the one who needs that phone call, right? Because what I expect, because I think Bam is ready. I think Bam is ready to make that fight happen. I think he's a young, hungry lion who he's not going to do for free, but I don't think you need to blow him away with money. I think you give him something fair, and he takes an opportunity in front of him that he's young. He knows what this means for his career. I'll make a whole bunch of money later, but I also know that there's a small window of opportunity right now. Unless Bam actually plans on going to 126 before Inoue retires, this is his opportunity. If Monster Inoue is willing to hang back at 122 for one more fight, because there's an argument there that it's either one of the two. It's either Bam Rodriguez or it's a Rafael Espinoza or somebody else at 126. So this is the window.
Oh, by the way, did you know the news that Rafael Espinoza has signed up to fight Figueroa in September? I don't know if you saw that news.
No, I'm kind of upset.
It's a unification.
Yeah. I'm kind of upset. I wanted Shushu to be involved in that conversation, but it is what it is, right? I wanted Shushu to be involved in the Brandon Figueroa, but I'm not mad. That's a great fight, to be honest with you. The height, the stylistically, all the physical attributes makes it for a great fight. But damn it, I want my boy Shushu to get some love, man. I want them to show some love. I think he's the best 126 pounder in the game, man, and he just isn't getting any chances to really show it out. It is what it is. Rafael Espinoza, Brandon Figueroa. That's awesome. But that being said, Monster Inoue, 122, last fight. I would assume he would take a little bit of a break, right? After that fight with Nakatani, depending on how much of a war it is. Do you still believe Bam Rodriguez is being moved too fast to get in front of Monster Inoue? Do you still believe this is too much for him? Or he did the interview, bro, and he says he's ready now. He says that's me all day.
That's why I love him. Yeah, no, that's why I love Bam. I've always defended Bam, and I'm the one that's always said Bam Rodriguez is our Mexican-American Manny Pacquiao. He's the guy that's moving up in weight. He's destroying people. He's working on his craft. Kind of a quiet guy off to the side. He's not really a big media guy. He's not going to get on kicks. You're not going to see Bam Rodriguez playing a video game on kicks or anything like that, or on Twitch or something. But money-wise, he is a businessman in terms of wanting to take care of his family, and he's taking care of a lot of them, right? So if you're telling me Bam's fighting Vargas 118, the long-term plan that Eddie wants, and Eddie said this. Eddie said 2 to 3 more fights before Bam moves up to fight Inoue. Now, Inoue already said, and his manager, his dad, so Inoue said, love to fight Bam Rodriguez. We can make that happen next. Said that. It's all over Japanese TV. Everybody knows exactly who Bam Rodriguez is.
And he said he's willing to go to Japan. He's like, I'd love to go to Japan.
Exactly. Right. So
that's
Inoue already said,
he's ready to go.
Yeah, Inoue already said, let's make it happen. Right? But Shingo, his dad, made it very clear that Inoue's only doing one more fight at 122. Then he's moving up the greener pastures, bro.
Yeah,
he's moving.
It's Bam, baby.
He's probably trying to fight the winner of Espinoza versus Figueroa or something like that, or winner of
say it. It's Bam.
Angelo.
Say it, Angelo. It's Bam.
I would like it to be Bam. I hope Eddie, and I don't think Eddie would ever get in the way with money. I feel like it would take a Shakur offer to fight Haney type money to get Bam to go to Japan. And I think earlier on the chat today, somebody asked the question, well, Claymore, what do you think is a star? You know who a star is? Naoya Inoue. That's what a star looks like. A guy who could sell 55,000 tickets by himself. That's what a star looks like. All right. A
star. This is De La Hoya Floyd. This is Floyd Canelo. This is the passing of the legitimate torch, right?
Yep. And it would be in Japan too, because Japan would fill it out. The only other thing I could say is that it's possible that maybe by the time that fight happens, Clay, there is enough of a Japanese contingent with a lot of money that they'd be willing to fly, let's say, from Japan to Texas. And Bam Rodriguez versus Naoya Inoue on a big card stacked could do really well at Cowboy Stadium, bro. That could do pretty well because again, it just depends on where it's going to sell the most tickets.
Monster gets the homecoming treatment. He gets he's given the young bull the opportunity, and honestly, it'd be a huge stage for Bam Rodriguez to fight. He would gain a fan base because out there in Japan, he beats Monster Inoue in Japan, bro. They're going to love him. That's just how them sick fuckers think, right? You beat the shit out of our hero. We love you. Like, what? Yeah, that's what happens across the seas, right? Not here in America. Here in America, you might get hit in the head with a beer can or something. You know what I'm saying? But out there, they might throw roses at your feet. You know what I'm saying? And you know, do all types of whatever have you to celebrate you. So listen, man, I think it's in the stars. Monster Inoue does his job this weekend. I think we're looking for Bam Rodriguez, and I think Ring Magazine is pushing it, bro. I think that's why
I know they are. No, I know they are. There is this whole thing, by the way, guys, that at plus 300 last time I checked, y'all might want to put a little money on Nakatani. I'm just saying. All right. My heart.
You think Nakatani's going to derail him?
Is with Inoue, and I love them both. 32-0 versus 32-0, 27 knockouts versus 24 knockouts, pound for pound versus pound for pound. I love them both, man. I love Junto every bit as much as I love Inoue. And my heart is saying Inoue should win. But my wallet, Clay,
your wallet's hoping. I think your wallet's hoping. Bro. You're hoping on the Nakatani to win, but I don't think you believe it. I think you know Monster Inoue is probably going to win this fight. Yo, shout out to everybody in the building, man. 77 people in the building. Hit the like button right now, man. I know if I look, I'm not even going to look because I know it's going to upset me that there's probably not 77 likes right now on the show. Hit the like button, support the channel. I need 2 more subscribers. Actually, I need 100. I need 1,000 more subscribers, but if I get 2 right now, that would be what's up. Let's get it up to 3,700 for the subscriber count for the channel. Appreciate it. Thank you in advance. Subscribe to the channel right now if you haven't done so, and definitely hit the like, the thumbs up on this one. So that is what it is. We'll see how that plays out this weekend.
Adam Hurley got Nakatani, bro. He's calling him a bad mamma jamma.
Malik Scott
has Adam Hurley right there. He says, I got Nakatani. He's a bad.
Yeah, he's a bad. Yo, I think that's gonna be one of the best knockouts. If he can hurt, my thing that I'm looking at with this fight is Nakatani's power going to translate? It did not translate for him at in his first fight with Hernandez. It didn't translate, but you know, acclamation. He's usually able to lean on that power and be like, worst case scenario, bop. We got it together now. We got it back together. Is that going to translate? You know what I'm saying? Worst case scenario, this fight was
he's going also, remember, Clay, when we were doing the film study on him, and I was talking to you about, like, hey, pay attention to this, pay attention to that. He's extremely good on the inside. We agreed on the fact that Nakatani is not like a tall person like a Fundura type. He's really good on the inside. He knows how to set up those uppercuts and knows how to sit.
And he was hitting Hernandez. He was piecing him up for parts of the fight. He just wasn't moving that. He was just piecing him up, and Hernandez was like, oh, you do have punching skills. This is different. I spar Monster Inoue.
Right.
I spar Monster Inoue, bro. That's not going to work for you against me. I got a chin like granite. So and maybe that's another thing. Maybe Hernandez is just built like that, and Inoue's chin isn't built like that. Maybe, you know what I mean? Maybe, you know what I mean? We'll see what happens, man. All right, so let's keep it moving because we got time. We don't got that much time left. I want to talk about Raymond Ford, O'Shaquie Foster press conference. I'm going to ask you first, did you get a chance to see the press conference?
I got to see bits and pieces of it after we did the interview with Demazian Van Houter on Saturday. Got to see how heated it got. They got kind of heated too during the Vegas fight for Big Baby Miller. Shout out to Alan Chavez, by the way, since we're talking about that weight division anyways. That's your new top 10, yo. Alan Chavez.
Is he in the top 10 now?
Welcome to the show.
Welcome to the top 10?
Oh, no. I'm just saying, I hope he makes it to that. Because, come on, bro. What are we doing? Lucas Body? Is that what we're doing, Clay? He just knocked out Matt Dueno, bro. All right.
Man,
what are we doing?
Crazy. Knockout of the year candidate. And I still got to watch it because I walked away that night with goosebumps and feeling like that was a knockout of the year. It felt like
it's really close. It's really good, Clay. And you know why? What makes it knockout of the year, just from a coaching perspective of it all, right? is he did the step back, okay, but if you pay attention to his eyes, Clay, Alan Chavez was tracking his eyes, and his punch landed right at the chin point of Medueno, even though Medueno had his hand up.
Yeah, it was right on the inside.
That was accurate, bro.
It was short.
It was straight. He did a step back, straight curve, like it was like curved, like a little. Right. It almost looked like one of them little sinkers, you know, like a sinker pitch, right? But Medueno, if you're Medueno, you're thinking I'm protected.
It was just like
Medueno had his hand tight. Yeah, Medueno had his hand up tight. It's just that he found that tiny little like sniper.
That chin was poking out the corner just a little too far, bro.
Just wasn't
tucked enough. This wasn't tucked all the way in enough. And he caught that thing, put that boy to sleep. Yeah, that was knockout of the year. That was knockout of the year for sure. But yeah, so Raymond Ford, O'Shaquie Foster, you saw it. The elephant in the room is Shakur Stevenson, right? That's the elephant in the room. That's the guy who's overshadowing this whole fight, right? Shakur is overshadowing Raymond Ford's moment as the only reason he has an opportunity is because of Shakur. He's overshadowing the moment as far as being called the son of Shakur Stevenson, ultimately a person who did not earn a right to be inside the ring on his own merit. You're only here because you serve my purpose, little boy. Boy, you serve my purpose as a stepping stone for me to get to your daddy, Shakur Stevenson. Two people getting ready to get in the ring. One of them may be distracted by focusing too much on a fighter who they're not fighting. And the other one is he being distracted by somebody who he's trying to prove he's not in the shadow of.
Right. I mean, Shakur Stevenson is definitely I don't want to say like this because I don't want to be disrespectful to both Raymond Ford, who's a former world champion, and we consider him in the top part of the game, and then O'Shaquie Foster, who arguably is the best 130-pound fighter in the world, right? We could argue it at least between him and Navarrete. We can make an argument. I don't want to be disrespectful, but you're right, man. The elephant in the room is Shakur Stevenson. This is a Shakur Stevenson fight. This is a Shakur Stevenson trajectory. This is, hey, I'm the big brother, and I'm so good. My little brother will whoop your ass. And then Shaquie Foster going, I'm going to beat your little brother up so bad that you won't be able to turn away from me. Because what kind of big brother doesn't try to protect his little brother? So, it's a very fun narrative to put out there. We shall see. I don't know, man. I like Raymond Ford. I understand why a lot of people would feel Shaquie Foster is a major favorite. But sometimes, man, when you're putting the cart before the horse, right? He's thinking. You said it even yourself. You said, has there been in the last few years someone who's wanted to fight Shakur Stevenson so badly he's willing to take whatever it takes to fight Shakur? And you said the only person you've seen talk like that is Shaquie Foster. So has he gotten to the point, Clay, of he wants to fight Shakur so bad, he's looking past Raymond Ford? Has he?
I mean, there's an argument there to say that. But there's also an argument on the other side that said that Raymond Ford was not taking it well. If you would have asked me who won that press conference, I would give it to O'Shaquie.
Okay, just because he was sunning him a little bit.
He was pissing him off, bro. I mean, there was a point to where he was like, I remember they asked O'Shaquie Foster, how does he rate Raymond Ford? And he said, 5. He's like, he just hasn't proven nothing in the ring to me. What has he done? And I'll be honest with you, some of the things O'Shaquie was saying, I was like,
right.
I mean, his best fight that shows his grit is what he did with Kolmatov, right? And he was down on 2 of the cards. Kolmatov, shout out to, I don't know who reminded me of this on the video I put out there, but Kolmatov had blown
the knee injury.
The knee, right?
Yeah.
Like round 10 or 11. He was right. He couldn't.
It's like Frank Sanchez style though, bro. You know what I mean?
Right. But I mean, he blew it. He blew it during those rounds. Like he actually hurt himself and was like, oh shit, my knee. He had a problem with his Achilles going in, but he actually ruptured it in like the 11th round or the 10th round. He ruptured it, right?
Okay.
So, but it is what it is, bro. No excuses, right? But reasons are reasons. Outside of that, he had a really competitive fight with Nick Ball, arguably won that fight, but on paper lost that fight. And then he comes up to 130 pounds, and probably the best fight he had at 130 pounds is what, Abraham Nova? Probably the best fighter.
Yeah,
quality
that's fair,
wise,
right?
fought,
That's fair
right?
to say, right?
So yeah, I mean, does that performance against Abraham Nova give us a right to look at what he did, O'Shaquie Forster, against Stephen Fulton, against what he did with Robinson Conceição twice, Rob the first time, second time, what he did with him, right? Does
the Stephen Fulton fight kind of count though, or does it
on
not
paper?
Count?
Right.
Okay.
So, right. So on paper,
it's an elephant in the room, man. Right. I mean, like we got to call it out as it is, because if you're gonna do, I'm not saying you, I'm saying people are going to do the whole, well, Komatov had a messed up knee. So did Sergio Martinez. He still won. Right. When he, you know what I mean? Like, whatever. But if we're going to do that, then you got to do the whole, well, Stephen Fulton was kind of fat. So does that count?
Right. Blue weight and everything. They made the fight a 135 pound fight for a WBC interim title. And Robinson Conceição was
a robbery, to say the least.
The first one was a robbery. He should have won that fight, but he was on his bicycle for a lion's share of that fight, which is probably why he lost the fight, because it was kind of like that Trinidad De La Hoya thing a little bit, right? Where it was like, yeah, but no, like, we're not going to reward you for that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're doing this thing, and it is kind of like Conceição hasn't figured it out. He's not cutting the ring off, but at the same time, I don't know if we want to reward you for that. Do better. We're going to take it up. Come back and do better. And then there was a Rocky Hernandez fight, right? Where he actually stopped this mo. You know what I'm saying? Kind of like his Komatov moment, except Rocky Hernandez, Eduardo Rocky Hernandez, was not hurt. He just literally grind through that. That was O'Shaquie Forster really grinding through that, getting that stoppage, and keeping his title. And he dominated Ray Vargas, not for nothing, for that WBC title at the time, right? He kicked Ray Vargas out the division. Ray Vargas went to 126, came down in weight, right? After that ass whooping that he got from him. So at the press conference, O'Shaquie got inside of Raymond Ford's head. You could see it. Raymond Ford was constantly defending it. Yo, ain't nobody nobody's son. Hey, yo, man, I would have fought anybody, man. That's the only fights I could get. You saw Anthony Kakak. You know what I mean? He was defending everything that O'Shaquie Forster was saying. Raymond was defending it. And it's just like, it just showed that he was in his head. You know what I'm saying? He just didn't want to let it slide. On top of that, what's up with Raymond Ford's little, I don't want to say little, that's disrespectful. What's up with his trainer?
I don't know.
That's a young.
Well, is that his real trainer, or is that just one of the people? No, but it's not one of the people in the team, Clay.
I hope so. I hope so.
Okay.
Well, what if he is the trainer?
I'm not going to hate on a young trainer. I mean, I'm not going to hate on a young trainer. You know what I mean? All right. Like, what? Okay. Like, there are young trainers out there, Clay, that do well. Like, how old is Kate Corona?
I mean, he got to be a solid 40.
I was thinking he was maybe like 39 or something.
Maybe 39, 40. I don't know. But this dude looks like he's all like 28.
Well,
he looked like the homie. I'm just saying, this dude looks like he's all about 31. You know what I'm saying? 30. Right. Does anybody know how old that dude is, man? That dude is a young bull, bro. He said he's the youngest trainer to have a champion in the game, which is like, I guess he's taking credit for what happened with Raymond Ford against Komatov.
Right.
But I don't know. Right? I don't know. But one thing I do know is O'Shaquie got in his head. And I'm wondering, who's Shakur Stevenson more of a distraction to? Is he more of a distraction to O'Shaquie Forster, who's focused on fighting him and focused on beating Raymond Ford so that he can fight Shakur? Or is he more of a distraction for Raymond Ford, who clearly is trying to draw a line in the sand and separate who he is from Shakur Stevenson?
Right. Yeah, man. I mean, there's definitely, for me going into that fight, there's a lot of 50-50 questions. May 30th in Houston. For that matter, who's the crowd going to be for, right? Because Houston is O'Shaquie's town, but Raymond Ford is in it. And Raymond was saying, nah, this is my town too. You think it's your town. So I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know. Chat, I don't want to miss this, by the way. Shout out to Coach Hector Bermudez. The Armando Martinez Robbie knockout you're talking about, Coach, your fighter. We'd have to review it. We'll review it, but that Alan Chavez fight is looking like knockout of the year. like the Lacerdas look pretty good. William Crowless looked pretty good. So we can review it for you, Coach.
We gotta look at the end of the year knockouts is already gonna be crazy because we're not even halfway through the year yet.
Because we still got Moses Itama, Clay, against Jermaine Franklin, man.
That one, he melted him. I don't know. But I ain't gonna lie to you. That when Alan Chavez did what he did, I got goosebumps. None of the other knockouts.
Clay, we were calling it live. Clay really did get.
I was like, it was like my hair stood up. It was like, ah. It was electricity. When he hit him with that left hand, it was straight electricity, bro. It was like, it was like a Marvel comic moment, bro. It looked like he got struck down by Thor's hammer, bro. That was crazy.
He's the real deal, man. He's the real deal. Yeah. And might be fighting one of these guys, Shaq Foster and
the Queen. Yeah. I don't know, man. This fight, we'll see how it turns out. I've been watching Raymond train. He has a channel and he's putting videos out like every week. Him just training. You can see they're working hard. He's definitely super motivated. And but this fight experience is going to play its role in this fight, right? Because O'Shaquie Foster is the more experienced fighter. He is the tried true champion. He's come back from defeat. He in redemption against a fighter who beat him and got his belt back. He got robbed and had to tune all that out and show up and get his belt back. He dominated Stephen Fulton, beer belly or no beer belly, focus or no focus, whatever it was. He shocked the world. Nobody expected that performance, including me. I did not expect O'Shaquie Foster to shut out Stephen Fulton. Even with him blowing the weight, even on the back of him blowing the weight, I was like, I still don't expect him to blow him out. Maybe win because he wasn't trained right, but every single round, that was kind of crazy. So Raymond's gonna have to be focused. He's gonna have to mature. He's gonna have to take it for what it is. I hope he doesn't overtrain for this fight because sometimes that motivation pushes you somewhere else, right? You need that right trainer. Not that I don't know if that 28-year-old trainer he has, that 30-year-old trainer is going to be the guy who's going to be able to tell him, not tonight, champ. You need to rest. You've been working too hard. Shakur Stevenson was overtraining for years before he hurt his hand and had to have surgery done to his hand. So they couldn't get him together, and he got like his grandfather and everybody. So who's getting Raymond Ford together to get ready for the biggest fight of his life? Hopefully he's not overtraining. And hopefully he leaves his emotions to the side because O'Shaquie Foster, to me, has already tapped into that boy's emotions a little bit, at least at the press conference.
Right. Hey, Coach, so if it's the one against Neslan Machado, I'll send it to Clay and then we'll review it and we'll see. But I'm telling you, Coach, that Alan Chavez KO was pretty sweet, man. It's I don't know.
Electrocution, bro. Electrocution, bro. I don't know. I got to look at it. But right now, I'm just feeling like the Alan Chavez is probably in the lead in the conversation. But I got to watch these I got to see. But that's what I feel like right now. We're about to close it up, man. Xander Zayas renews his contract with Top Rank. How do you feel about that?
I think it's great, right? Because like you said, 23 years old. And at this point, I think Xander did the right move for himself. He's clearly making a statement, Clay. I'm Xander Zayas. I am a superstar. I got Bad Bunny backing me. I'm a rock with the zone because I'm going to ride in the sanctioning body space. Cool. I'm good with it. I think that he
has a chance of being like the face of Top Rank. Is Xander Zayas the face of Top Rank right now?
Let me think of the roster. I'm trying to think because Richard Torres, if he wins, is the IBF heavyweight, though. Heavyweight?
Nah, bro. He ain't Xander. He ain't Xander, bro. Nowhere near it. He's not Xander, bro. He's not Xander.
Xander might be it. Xander might be the guy. If there's somebody else, guys, on the Top Rank roster that you think is a bigger star than Xander Zayas, please let us know.
Yeah, I don't know. I think he's a face of, and I think Top Rank is going to give him that face of Top Rank treatment. I think he's going to get that type of treatment, especially if he beats Jaron Boots Ennis, forget about it, bro. If he beats Xander, if he beats Jaron Boots Ennis, he might be the face of boxing.
No, if he beats Boots Ennis, I think definitely for the boxing hardcore space, it'd be tough for them not to say he's the face of boxing, right? For the casual fan space, it'll probably be replayed enough, right? That no, he does though, but he's gonna rock with him. Like, I'm okay with that, right? I like Xander too, you know. So, but I mean, I still think Boots is gonna do what he does. I'm just saying, I rock with Xander.
I'm leaning towards Boots. I'm leaning towards Boots to win. I think the experience, is going to be too much. I think.
Oh, here's a good one. Actually, I missed it. Keyshawn. Is Xander a bigger star than Keyshawn?
Keyshawn too reckless. Keyshawn too reckless. Keyshawn's there.
We're talking about stardom, though, right? We're talking about stardom.
Yeah, Xander's the biggest star.
Keyshawn does a lot of funny films. You know,
Keyshawn got Norfolk, Virginia. Xander has Puerto Rico.
Okay.
And New York. If he wants to compete statewide. Super Bowl halftime show, fight in the back of the whatever called the Scope Arena. Nah, bro. You know what Keyshawn is? He's the bad boy of Top Rank. He's the bad boy. He's the wild card. He's the bad boy. I think he's a future star. He's definitely up there, but he's the bad boy. Xander is the golden boy. He's the smile. He's the Wheaties commercials. He's the sponsorship. He's the spokesman. He is the face of Top Rank from Todd the Buff's perspective. You know what I'm saying? Like that's our golden boy. Keyshawn, be good today. When you come in here, I know you want to make some fights. We don't got no problem with it, but we need to get a promise from you.
Wait. Okay, time out. I got another one for you. He's about to fight on TNT America for free, bro. Abdullah Mason.
Not it yet. He's not there yet. He's not there yet. And I'm a big Abdullah. He's just not there yet. But that fight that night is going to be a big fight for him to get him in that conversation, to get him in that direction. But Xander is unified. He made the big fight with Jaron Boots Ennis. He shut it down in Puerto Rico already. He's shut it down in New York already in a small room in Madison Square Garden. The whole space is rumbling. Abdullah Mason is almost he's on the right trajectory, but it seems like Xander's feels like he's arrived.
Okay, and just to be clear, because what we're talking about is fully Top Rank owned. Because if we were going to say who's the biggest star that Top Rank has, then technically it's Inoue. But Inoue
right. I'm talking about America,
right?
By the way.
Yeah, like America. Yeah.
I'm talking about America for sure.
Okay.
That's exactly what I'm talking about for
all
sure.
Right. So that would be my two, like, that you could think about is Abdullah Mason is in there, Keyshawn, and then there's Xander. But you're right. Xander got the Super Bowl commercial. Emiliano Vargas doesn't have the resume. Right. So, okay. All right.
Emiliano's like one step under Abdullah, like 1 or 2 steps under Abdullah, because Abdullah's picked up the belt. He's done that, but Emiliano has his own energy he pushing too, man. The girls is wanting him. He's got the knockouts just like everybody else. Everybody wants to see him in position, and he was in a halftime show. So he's got these things, and he's got the legacy. He's got the father, the last name. He has all that energy coming with him, bro. 2 crazy-ass brothers, Fernando and Armando. He got all these
fighting bare knuckle now, by the way.
Exactly.
Ali Manlanaji company now.
in that triangle ring, putting knuckles on people. So he's right there, but Abdullah's right there, man. You know what Abdullah needs to do a little bit, but he doesn't
knock out Cordina like the way Alan Chavez did it.
He's probably going to do that. A little bit more talkative, a little bit more personality.
That's not his thing, though, bro.
I know, but I think that's what holds back Jaron Boots Ennis a little bit from being what he could be. Right, is his ability to control that, to play that, to do the microphone thing. And I mean, Terrence Crawford, the greats have done it before. Terrence Crawford was a not talking on the mic kind of guy, right? Like he had to really pick up on that a little bit later and show his personality later in his career. And he finally did get it. But earlier it was just like, you know what I mean? But he was delivering in the ring the same way Abdullah Mason's delivering. But if I was, like I said, it's not even a real complaint. He don't have to. But if you were asking me something to say Abdullah needs to improve on, I'd say that. You know what I'm saying? That would be it. You know what I mean? But he's
By
doing
the way, guys, we're 5 likes away from getting to 100. So before we close it out, Can you help us get to 100 likes, please? So anyway,
Definitely.
go ahead though.
No, definitely. And subscribe to the channel. We hit that 3,700 mark, so I'm happy we just did that.
Oh, yay!
You know what I mean? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Celebration. You know what I mean? We just hit that 3,700 mark. I'm not celebrating until we hit 4,000. I know people be celebrating in between, but I hit at the 1,000 mark. That's when I do it, at the 1,000 mark. So when we hit 4K and another 300 subscribers, we'll celebrate that. Hey, guys, man, I appreciate all you guys, man. It's about that time. I got to rest up. I got places to be tonight. You already know.
One more thing, because that way we don't mess it up on the title.
Yeah.
And I get your opinion on the AJ Fury thing, right? All right.
Yeah,
we have to, because you put it on the title, man.
Yeah, right.
I hate it when you put it on the title and we didn't even talk about it.
Angelo, we do this every show. This is the first time that you've caught on before the end of the show.
Right.
Now we can address, because normally you're 30 minutes late. It's usually after the show, and you go, you know what we didn't do? And I'm like, what? Yeah, we didn't do this. And I'm like, yeah, you didn't remember that during the show? I don't know. That's why. Anyway, that being said, I don't want to turn on Angelo right now in front of everybody, bro. But that's his MO. He loves doing that shit. 30 minutes later, you know what we didn't do?
Yeah, and it was your fault.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that part. That fucking part, right? That's the part that's the most important part of the conversation.
It's like I was ready to fight to do the slate, bro. You wrote it out. I was ready to do it.
It's never us, right? It's like, you know what we didn't talk. It's never that. You know what you didn't do, Clay? Yeah, I don't know if you know, if you remember, but you know what you didn't do, bro? You the one who was over there talking all about bullshit. Now, anyway, AJ Fury. It is what it is. AJ Fury. Hey, man. A part of me was a little like, damn, AJ, you let the pressure get to you just a little bit, because I wanted to see him fight Deontay first. I'm not going to lie to you, right? But he is doing his tune-up against this dude he's about to do a tune-up with. It is what it is, man. It's time for the fight, right? Like, the fight should have actually been done a long time ago. I think it's a competitive fight still. Unlike a lot of fights that have been aged out a little bit, this one doesn't seem so aged out. It seems like this is the best AJ, right? I would have never, if you'd have asked me who would have won this fight 3-4 years ago, I would have said Tyson Fury, hands down, no question. I wouldn't even have a question. I'd be like, Tyson gonna beat the shit out of him. Right now, I don't know, man. AJ's kind of refining himself. He's motivated. His two friends that he considered brother passed away in a car right next to him, right, inside of the car. So he's motivated. He has Usyk now in his camp. Usyk is talking about undisputed. He's talking about undisputed. He's always been a dialed in, stoic, serious person, always focused. I've always appreciated that about AJ. This might be the prime AJ outside of a tune-up with Deontay. I thought a tune-up with Deontay would have really let me know more. I don't know who he's fighting against. I'm not familiar with this dude. I know you do for sure.
Yeah, Christian Prenga. He trains out of Jersey. It's funny because actually his name was one of the names that I sent to a couple of fighters that I know, where I was they're in the Zuffa roster, and I said, "Hey man, watch out for this guy. He might sign to Zuffa." And lo and behold, I don't know if he will still sign with Zuffa, but I do know he's getting a fat payday to fight Anthony Joshua. He's only got the one loss. It was like early in his career. 20 wins, 20 knockouts. He's got real power. That I can tell you if you watch the tape. He's got real power. But if AJ loses to this guy, bro, then it's time to just say he's not in it anymore, right?
And that's the other part of it too, right? Is Turkey throwing the dice again? Is he? If it's important for this fight to happen, should he have just made the fight happen and not did the tune-up?
Right. I would argue that Makhmudov, who Tyson Fury just fought on Netflix, would have been a harder opponent. And I say that because Makhmudov's style, you saw how he fought Dave Allen. Right. Now, I know you're going to say, bro, it's Dave Allen. I'm just saying, I'm talking about the style, Makhmudov's style. What Tyson Fury did show, which you were happy about, which is why you, Claymore, you didn't have a problem when they said Tyson Fury's ranked number 3 at the top 10. I was more like, come on, bro, really? But you were like, no, that's fair, right? And that Makhmudov, he danced around him. He showed his jab. He showed his movement. So he showed, hey, I'm here. I'm primed. Other than Jake Paul, people do forget that AJ has not fought anyone since getting knocked out by Dubois.
Right.
no tune-ups. It was just Jake Paul. Then the accident happened. So is he mentally there? Physically he looks there, but is he though? Does he even really want to be in the ring? So a lot of questions. I know that he's finding a lot of motivation right now in his Apollo Creed, which is Alexander Usyk. And if you guys are watching his workouts, man, Alexander Usyk's workouts are crazy. Right. But so he's getting a lot of
he the kettlebell king, bro. His kettlebell game is sick, bro.
It's crazy. It's sick, man. It's sick. I'm like, damn.
I work with kettlebells, bro. When I see him doing the kettlebells, I'm like, yeah, bro, he's crazy. I know how difficult kettlebells are. Manipulating that weight the right way. The joints in your wrists, your elbows, your back, your knees. He's doing shit on one foot. He's doing some extreme shit with those kettlebells, bro.
Right. So he's finding that new vigor and life. He's going to be there in Giza to watch his buddy Usyk do his thing against Rico Verhoeven. So at the end of the day, Clay, he should look good. Should. I say should.
I think he will. I think he will, man. I think he will look good, man. Listen, man, he also boxed well with Alexander Usyk in the second fight. He lost that fight, but he boxed well in that fight. He did. Right?
He did.
He didn't get dominated. He lost. So
right.
He showed the aptitude. He showed the ability to be coachable. And being that Usyk gave him those crazy 24 rounds, it's almost who better than Usyk right now to have in your corner in Usyk's team. You know what I'm saying? Like, who better?
Right.
For Anthony Joshua to have. It's about as good as it gets for AJ, right? Like, this is about as
a
good
tune-up, I guess, right? Somebody who's in front of you, somebody who's 6'6", somebody who comes forward, wants to throw combinations. Doesn't fight like Fury, though. So other than the height.
I mean, you ain't gonna get Fury, but I'll tell you what, when I talked about Shakur Stevenson, right? What did I say? His team counts, right? He's sparring Terrence. He's sparring Andre Ward every now and then. He's sparring Keyshawn. He's sparring Raymond, the team. The iron sharpens iron. He's got a great sparring. He's got a Terrence Crawford right now, right?
Right.
Like AJ has a Terrence Crawford by the name of Alexander Usyk in his corner right now, who has publicly committed
to helping him.
To helping him get to not past Tyson Fury, to undisputed. Right. He's like, this ain't about Tyson Fury as a stepping stone. Like, we're getting him straight through it. We're talking about all the big fights.
Right.
Usyk is committed to be there with him. That counts for something, right?
Right. No, I agree with you. And again, like, if we're talking about AJ and the trajectory of it, we have to bring up that when he's been given the tune-up, he has done well. So, for example, here's his 2023, Clay. He fights Jermaine Franklin. It goes the distance. But then the next fight, he knocks out Helenius in August of 23. Then he stops Otto Wallen in December of 23. See how it went? Boom, boom, boom. Right. So maybe he doesn't even knock out Christian Pringa. Maybe he goes the distance with Christian Pringa.
Which I think would be, you know how I feel about those fights. Whenever I see those kind of fights, that's why we're looking at this Inoue fight. Like, I don't know what kind of Nakatani we gonna see in this one, because that fight he had with Hernandez might have been what he needed. Same thing for Terrence Crawford when he went in there with Canelo. That Majimov fight, everybody used that fight as a hey, bro, he has no chance to get Canelo. And we were sitting here like, nah, that fight he's primed for Canelo now. He got what he needed from that Majimov fight. Is AJ primed?
We'll find out July 25th in Riyadh, all paid for by Gia, which, by the way, that's all that live money coming to
yeah, if everybody's saying that, we'll see, right? But we obviously, me and Angelo have a whole different perspective on that whole entire Saudi fund. Everybody looks at the live thing as a bad thing. I'm like, we both agree, like, yeah, more money for boxing. Yeah. That's all we saw.
I mean, look, the war clearly did not affect that this fight's happening in Riyadh. And it clearly did not affect the general entertainment.
Clearly, Saudi Arabia made a choice. How about that? Right. They said, we got to cut some things off, but you know what we're not cutting off? Boxing. Let's get rid of that other $1 billion money pit that we're spending, because we're going to need a lot of money to get this boxing going. We done bought a piece of the zone. We own a piece of the zone, right? And God knows how deep they're in the pockets of Paramount and making this deal with buying Warner Brothers. We don't know where Saudi. We got to do real research to find out how much of Saudi Arabia is involved in Paramount right now. Let's be real.
Right. No. You're right. And you know what? I'll throw one more at you that's kind of funny. I don't think the chat would know this. But the Metropolitan Arts was funded by Saudi. They totally pulled that. They're like, no, we don't need to see art. What we do need to see is Anthony Joshua versus Pringa in
Saudi Arabia and Egypt in front of the fucking pyramids. That's what we need to make sure happens. Priority number one. So, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Let's see what happens, man. It is what it is, guys. It's time for me to cut it off, man. I can't lie. I got stuff to do. We've been going on for about 2.5 hours, going on 3 hours. I appreciate everybody being in the building. I don't know if we hit the 100 likes yet. Shout out to all the new subscribers, man. Continue supporting the channel, man. Go watch that video I made on Shaky. Go watch the video I did on Shakur. Go watch the Read the Ring series that we got going, man. Trying to keep up with everything, but they're working me like a dog. I've been very busy lately working this graveyard shifts. It's not like before. Before I wasn't that busy. I had a lot of free time that I just really been tied up a lot.
Yeah. No, Clay's been busy, guys, and we do thank you because we got to 106 likes today. So we really appreciate everybody for hitting the like buttons.
Right.
We appreciate that you guys enjoyed the show. There will, even though I know Clay's super busy, but we will put out a Read the Ring episode 12, which is the replay of our interview. And then you guys look out for the Demazian Van Houter interview that we're going to put out also. So yeah, but Clay's busy. I
really have been. Believe me.
Yeah. One last question for you, Clay. How was Michael Jackson the movie? Give us a quick movie review.
Okay, so the wife
didn't see it, but I want to know if I need to go see it or not.
The wife says it's trash. She wasn't fucking with it. She was enjoying the popcorn. She was enjoying the time we had together in the movies. She was like, man, it just wasn't. It feels like a movie that should have a part 2 to it. It feels like it ended halfway through his story.
Can you please tell Mrs. Claymore Rain that, to be fair, and again, I'm a movie guy, all right? To be fair, the movie itself was actually this really big, long movie. Right. They had to cut out certain parts of it due to certain people saying, like Diana Ross, this group, for example, was like, you can't put that out there. So then they had to pull it out. They had to, we had this awesome, like 15 minutes.
A lot of things was missing, man. The whole entire Bad era was missing. The whole Bad album era. That whole, do you remember the time? I'm bad. All these classic songs, and that was an expensive video too. Do you remember the time? It was like right there next to Thriller. That was one of the most expensive videos he ever shot.
Right.
With Eddie Murphy and the whole African thing.
Yeah, Magic Johnson was on it.
Magic Johnson was on it, right? So
that was with Priscilla's daughter.
Exactly. So they didn't show. They didn't. It feels like there's another part to the movie that needs to come out. That's all.
Chris says that if you stayed past the credit, I don't know if the wife let you stay past the credit. Apparently, they showed.
She was ready to go.
Oh, okay. You didn't do it like a Marvel movie, bro? Because you always stay past the credit.
I didn't even know that. So there is a part 2. Okay, that makes sense because it's what it felt like. It felt like there should have been a part 2. But I didn't expect that. I didn't know it was like a Marvel. Why the hell would I think they were going to make a part 2 to that? I mean, I felt like they should, but it is what it is. So that being said, though, the production was fire. The acting was fire. Jafar Jackson.
Okay.
Damn it, Jafar. Damn it.
Okay.
Hey man, everybody did their job, bro. The young little Michael Jackson, the kid Michael Jackson, great job, great performances. Jafar Jackson with the choreography. Damn, bro. I know he was working on that.
I heard he did the Billie Jean exact or something like that.
It was crazy. He did everything, bro. Performed it, sang it, all the dance moves right on cue with the video. He did everything right. If you've seen the Jackson 5 series, there was a lot of trauma there wasn't as much trauma in this one.
Oh, really? So this is really more like a biopic, like they were going over the history? Yes. Okay, that's cool. I like that.
I'm going to tell everybody go watch the movie.
Okay.
I liked the movie. I thought it was a great movie. I would watch it.
Okay, hold on. If you're a Michael Jackson fan,
you fucking with it.
Okay.
Especially if there's a part 2.
Okay.
Because if there's a part 2, that makes sense. That makes complete sense if there's a part 2. 100%. So,
okay.
You know what I mean?
All right.
I don't know how anybody else thought about it, but it was a great movie, man. Great little moments in there. You know what I'm saying? Great little moments, great music, great. Just it took you back. If you were there for Mike growing up and you were watching Mike, like I'm sure everybody our age group was. I don't know how you got around it, how you got around Thriller. How did you do it? How'd you get around Off the Wall? How did you do it? You did. Right. You were there for it. You were dialed in. Then
the casting was really good, Clay. There wasn't anyone where you were like,
the weakest
that doesn't look like so and so, man.
The weakest link was the father.
Okay.
Was Joseph Jackson, because I think they just put too much makeup on him.
Oh, okay.
Like they really wanted him to look like Joseph Jackson for some reason. Like, you know what I'm trying to say? Like they wanted him to have little hazel eyes. I was like, why did he have to have a Joseph Jackson mask on his face? Like nobody else. You know what I'm trying to say? What? I don't know if it was that serious. I'm saying it looks like you guys put a Joseph Jackson mask on that man's face, which was weird because nobody else in the whole movie at all had any absorbent amount of makeup on like that motherfucker did. Like it was like he really wanted him to look like. I guess Joseph Jackson does have a distinguished kind of almost evil look to him a little bit.
So that's what they wanted. They wanted him to look kind of.
They were trying to capture that because Joseph kind of got that look like he looked like.
He was beating his kids, bro. So I don't know what to say.
But he looked like it. Like if you see Joseph Jackson talking in an interview, he looked like he's doing that. Right? He looked like he's putting in that kind of pain, and I guess they wanted to capture that. They wanted Joseph Jackson to be the scary, authoritarian figure, fearful. People were scared to talk back to him, scared to push back, ran it with an iron fist. But at the same time, give him his flowers, got his kids to the big show. Like you have to credit him for the role he played in their success. Like without him, there is no them. Like there is no, in spite of him, they do what they did. Nah, he drove. He was a driving machine. Without Joe Jackson, there absolutely is no Michael Jackson. There is no Jackson 5. There's no Janet Jackson. There's none of that shit. You know what I'm saying? So
you're saying there wouldn't have been a Tina Turner without Ike.
Shit. Damn, bro. Shout out to Ike Turner, man. Rest in peace, bro. I know nobody don't want to hear that shit. I know they don't want to hear that shit, but
hey, man, we're at the end of the show and we're talking movies, so it can get a little wild, guys.
Hey, bro. I don't know, bro. Would there be a Tina? Anyway, guys, salute to everybody in the building, man. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, man. Until the next one, it's that ATP Combat Media Show, man. And at this point, we out.
Make it this far, they hated, they never believe me. Yeah, I would never drop the ball, I know I make it look easy. Yeah, Mayweather with the defense. I don't care what a critic gotta say, I got them picking up the pieces. That to me, you really playing with your life, I'm about to come and run it all back. I'm the new era, about to snap back. You ain't fitting for it, cause you all cap like. Hold up, I shoot my shot, wait, hold up. I'm really about to run this, go up. You know it's all net when it go up.